Okay. All right. We should be all right here. I just muted Gundam in the background here because I didn't feel like turning the game off and turning it back on to not interfere with the pre-show. But welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Phontomen, and we are playing Gundam Evolution. Now, I did play one warm-up match before. I did play one warm-up match before I started, and it was a rather interesting one because it felt like actually a casual match because everyone was playing slow as toothpaste, and someone on the enemy team accused someone on our team of. Well, actually, no. Someone on the enemy team accused one of their teammates of assisting us using a third-party program. And when asked to elaborate, he refused to explain and just replied that he had seen that player do this before. Meanwhile, I was getting no such secret document reading. I'm not quite sure what the fuck was going on there, but it was an easy game. Let's hope we have plenty of more of those today. Right. So let's hop in for a couple of casual games before we dare attempt ranked again, because we know what's gonna we know what we're finding there. We're finding teams of people who are either good or they're bad. You're either on the team that's gaining a rank or you're on the team that's losing a rank this round. I wish it was more dynamic than that, but it's not. We saw it over and over again. But let's get on into casual match because it has become apparent that I cannot actually rely on Gun Tank in ranked matches. It still functions, it's just that I need something that can fucking crit. I need something with shock, and I need to put people in the ground in an instant in order to actually have a chance of, like, saving a failing team. Which means, well, something that can have headshots, first of all, and then something as abusively effective as, like, the gym sniper, which, if you're on the ball with the gym sniper, the man is dead the moment you see him. But I'm not that good, but we may have to try and become that good. And there's also becoming cancerous and playing the Barbados with your one-hit stun. There are a couple of options open to us, but we're gonna need to find a new ride that can put people down faster than Gun Tank, because the Gun Tank, it's unfortunately support. It's a very good support to the point where you barely recognize it's a support, but it can't carry that much. It really it's like a lot of units in this game, it seems to only benefit from a good team allowing it to do its job, which is sit there and make that team even more effective. I haven't found the heart of this game yet. We'll find it at some point, I suppose. We're certainly playing it enough. Also, yeah, by the way, there was an update. We have a patch. The Melee Zaku got nerfed, or at least its alt did. And a couple of other readjustments happened. But let's try that gym sniper. Even though on offense that's kind of questionable, but we'll see. Gotta try new things. I'm going to suck, but if I hit the man in the face, he's dead. That's an assurance we can lean on. But, yeah, so there's been an update. There were a couple of changes. Most ranged units got more ammo in their magazines. What else? Melee Zaku got nerfed, and its ult now does less damage overall. It's the same. It's the same duration, but they figured, we'll decrease the damage and allow the chance for people to hurl it out of its ult for memes. I suppose that works, but I haven't seen it being played. The Marasai got adjusted. Oh right, it made its fucking harpoon slower, so it's easier to miss with it. So, and then yeah, a bunch of Witch of Mercury fucking swag came into the game because of course they're going to trumpet that. I will not be surprised if they absolutely mad dog rush to get the Ariel into the game just for the sake of it being the hip new Gundam on the block, even though the Ariel's not that fucking interesting. I'm sorry. It's just a G-Self with funnels. Well, more funnels. And funnels aren't that fucking interesting. See, those are not headshots that kill the man. None of those are headshots that kill the man. We need to kill the man. There we go. That was more of a series of body shots, but the man's dead. Well, was dead. Ah, I was looking over at the fucking OBS loadout screen. Okay. Okay, the Dom was a oh my god. Dom, I am so sorry. Okay, so the Dom was down, revived, downed again instantly by my headshot, revived again, and then downed instantly by my headshot again. That guy hates me now. Okay, so now that we know where everyone is, we can actually make some sound tactical decisions. Center mass is also a weakness. It's a more reliable weakness, but no, we need robot headshots, even though, realistically speaking, you would want body shots against the mobile suit because the cockpit is typically in the chest. Unless you're fighting the Blue Destiny 1, in which case the AI brain that wants to kill everyone is in the head. And it will try to defend the head over protecting the pilot, which is, well, Jesus Christ, how horrifying. Uh-oh, that's all sorts of not good. What happened to my Vulcan? What has happened to my Vulcan? I attempted to use my revive, but we got rushed. I could not hold that. I had to run. So this is my, unfortunately, you can see that I'm not a super duper awesome quickscoper. We need to work on that, because if I was, those people would have never overrun us. But sadly, I am not that good. But this is why we're in casual right now. Be gone!
Successfully captured the waypoint.
Hard scoping. It's either this or playing Modern Warfare 2 on this apparently really dumb series of maps, one of which is just shipment, but there are cars that explode everywhere. Yeah, I'd be playing that for you know, playing the popular game that's new and hip, but holy fucking $70 and it looks like garbage. I'm sorry, I'm not that cool. Right, cannot jump. Live! Actually, yes! A rare use of the Gym Sniper's ranged revive. Holy fucking shit, they're everywhere. Wow, okay. Yep, no, I'm not putting people on the ground terribly effectively, and when there's a whole shitload of people, I have a tendency to die. Need to fix that. Need to train more. But I'm just trying to find a unit that isn't the gun tank that I'm effective with, and, well, the other option is the Dom, but that's typically a very easy pick. Wow, that's incredibly fucking useful. Why don't I see Gym Snipers using that more often? That's rather bizarre, isn't it? You just press C on the man and he'll be revived. Why don't I see more Gym Snipers using that? Is it kind of like the Dom's armor gun where it's easy to forget it's there? Yeah. Back it up. Ah. Yes, me. Oh, well. Our team members have rage quit. That's probably it's probably a reason why we're losing, but oh well. I need to work on my headshots anyway. Clearly, I'm gonna need to adjust my sensitivity to make this more reliable. Because I'm just... Well, maybe if I press the DPI switch. No, that's even worse. That's the slow version.
10 seconds remaining.
Dom is like TF2 Soldier, but with air hockey rules. Exactly! So yeah, we're not going to win. Even on the next round. See, I've got to refine the Twitch there. Also... Goddamn Rothschilds prohibit me from using chat in Twitch mobile browser. This is bullshit. The Rothschilds? What do the Bilderbergs have to do with this? That was from Martin. Okay, that clearly didn't work. We're going to lose horribly, so I suppose it doesn't really matter if I continue to use the gem sniper, but clearly we were not doing good there. That was not MLG Pro. I like the traditional healer. It's not a traditional healer, though. The Methus really isn't a healer. It looks like it is, but it really isn't. Frankly, you're more of a schizo form of DPS and a healer. You've got kind of little piddly laser pistols and then an F ability that actually does a whole shitload of damage if you hit with it. And Methuses that excel are actually just playing like a DPS and not a healer. So the metagame strategy for playing the Methus solo isn't even actually being a healer. But I've had this argument a trillion times before. First name Jim, last name Sniper. No, actually it's Jim Sniper the second. Esquire, very important. Yeah, I'm not standing here. We're all going to die. Imagine rage quitting on casual. People rage quit at all in this game, all the time, in every part of this game. There are only 2 parts of this game, but people rage quit all the time because there's no reason to stick around when your team is not gonna win. It's very sad, but that's the game. There we go. Hey, I helped. Again, why don't I see more Gym Snipers using that? What the fuck, guys? Wow, Jesus fucking Christ, instantly lost. Yeah, I've kept the team alive on a defense point for like 5 minutes straight before. It wasn't you. Griff, I'm sure you felt like you were doing something right, but it wasn't you. Everybody was probably dipping for medkits at every opportunity, which is how you actually stay alive. Is this casual? Yes, it was casual, and I was playing a unit I am absolutely terrible with, but may need to get better with. We'll keep trying. Also, they added more levels to the Battle Pass because they realized, oh wait, a whole shitload of people have already finished the Battle Pass, and now they have no reason to play. Shit, we better actually keep them up on this. And unfortunately, none of them are extra currency. People are really, really downing this game for the monetization strategy, for the capital stuff being incredibly hard to get, and also you having limited amounts of it. But it really feels like they're still in the, how much should we give people stage of the operation here? Because it doesn't feel like they've found out, because again, if they give you too much of it, it becomes a worthless currency, like Silver Lions were in War Thunder for a very long time. And then all of a sudden, their ability to monetize you and also keep the game alive goes out the fucking window, at least in the capital sense. So, the plan isn't great, and I'll totally agree with you, it's not a great plan, but they're proceeding. I see what they're doing, though. It would be nice to have at least like one capital drop, but we're not gonna get another. I'm telling you right now, we're not gonna be able to get more capital outside of the boot camp thing once you finish it until the next season. We're not getting more capital until the next update comes out and there's a new suit to play with.
In THENAME of Harmon. Also, I joined, but I'm drawing the Becca.
Oh, drawing the Becca. Oh, someone. Oh, well, someone has good taste, but thank you for the $5, Deku. As an aside, Deku is currently in the process of drawing Battle Damaged Operator Girls month for his Twitter. If I remember correctly, he still has slots open for commissions. So if you have a girl that looks, that looks visually pleasing, roughed up, wearing a chest rig, consider requesting Deku to draw her. See, I pay back by exposure. Moving on, let's play something familiar, I guess, even though I could play Gem Sniper, but that guy already had. Grug Stone Man has already taken the Gem Sniper. Grog, he must be an ancestral descendant of Grog, yes? You know, that caveman who grinded the salt mines for and AI cubes in Girls Frontline and other places. One of the recent commissions used Dutchco references. Oh boy! Deku, it's the month you've started is literally Dutchco month. This is kind of what it is. I just hope there's less cement mixing. And also, yeah, if we're talking about Rebecca from Cyberpunk, she already gets Dutch code. Spoiler. So, I don't think you could do worse. So at least there's that.
Preparations complete. Pilots, begin your assault.
Let's do this. They'll never see us coming.
No, but magazines being shoved in places that aren't pouches. Maybe, some extra lubrication makes the springs work better? Jesus fucking Christ, me. Ping.
One down. The enemy's here.
No one went to save that unicorn. Okay, we have the corner. Congratulations, we have taken the corner. The corner has now been seized.
One down. Give me some back. Sorry, y'all.
Oh. Well, he's dead. Turn A, you meme lord. They're through. We have the first control point. That was me just kind of being like, I want kills. I got killed, but I also died. Again, people have been, the IQ for casual play seems to have dropped, which is actually kind of nice, because then I get to come in here with the immense amount of salt and rage that competitive play has filled me with, and actually start walking over a couple of people. Like that guy. Let's not get shot in the head by the gym sniper, though. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
Somebody give me a hand. This objective is
Nope.
fully ours.
Back. God damn it. I can't put out damage fast enough. But oh well.
3 minutes remaining.
I'll get back up into being super pro. I've been playing survival horror games for the last couple of days and thinking about math. How long you playing today? I'll join later once I'm done. I'm gonna be playing for quite a while. I'm not sure if this is the only thing I'm gonna be doing today, but let's get it, I'm just getting back into the motions of streaming again. Ooh, okay. That man's dead, and the man who tried to save him is also dead. Jim Sniper 2, well, Jim Sniper the Second Esquire, is apparently dead. He has suffered a brain hemorrhage and is no longer fit for, uh-oh. No, no! Oh. Just run Barbados or Melee Zaku, easy peasy. I don't have the Melee Zaku, I wish I did. I got the Maharu, which apparently, according to the developers, is functioning fine in high-level play, whatever the fuck that means. What is this high-level play you speak of? I would like to see an example of how high-level play in the Maharu makes it seem as though it is working as intended. It did get buffs, but high-level play. That may be the single silliest fucking thing I have heard in a long time out of some developers. Bop. GPO2 or no buy. I too would like a nuclear fucking ult. I too would like to just make half of the map explode. Oh. Well, I made him waste the fucking core fighter on me. Just me. This is one of these games where you kind of need your team to all exploit the same situation at the same time, because even if you punch through and get into the area that you're supposed to be in, you can very quickly find yourself outgunned because your team didn't come with you. And there's, even if you're in the right position, you should be fighting, there's no real position of advantage that you can take that will help you survive if the enemy is just far more numerous than you. Ow.
My suit's not responding.
The Maharu is like a rare animal in the nature document. Ah, yes, the noble and stoic Maharu of the moon people, as it were, the Lunarians, yes. Yes, deep within its natural habitat, and oh, look, it's the Turn A, its natural predator, and then cue a gif from Turn A where the Turn A fucking actually judo throws a Maharu. And then just cuts back to the nature documentary, and the announcer says, fascinating. Yeah, that's kind of what Turn A looks like to normal people. That is kind of what viewing Turn A without context really looks like. I really need to actually sit down and watch Turn A, though. I've survived G Savior. I think I can stomach Turn A, and we're not getting anywhere. I'm just skating around, fucking firing rockets at people. My team's not. They're not producing a wall of fire big enough to actually get through this hole.
Watch yourself this time.
Well, you know what? I know what can fix this situation. It's time for a double rank promotion.
Here I go. This isn't good.
I'm going to gas the Space Noids. That'll show those protesters.
We are securing the area.
Thumb man, come in. This is big guy.
Looks like I'm out.
Are they going to get through the? I'm gonna keep doing that until we win. Are they gonna? Well, okay. Right now, there's the radiation being sprayed all over the fucking Space Noids. Good, fantastic. That Turn A is an honorary Titans member. He knows the dangers of letting the Space Noids get too uppity. Very, very bad. Very, very bad situations. They start demanding rights, and then they start declaring wars that kill half the human population. Very bad. Ow! Wow, I instantly fucking died. You see, that's a Gym Sniper who's on the ball, but the Ashimar's headshot. The Ashimar's fucking hitbox is goddamn massive. Why are you guys not moving? Jesus. Come on, guys. You were there. You were at the platform. What's going on here? Away! Oh. Okay, now, but you see, here's the thing. They're all actually at the point now, so my team should have secured the choke point already, but this is casual, and apparently everyone has become tomato paste.
We're in danger of failing this mission.
Maybe it's all those cute and cuddly lesbians and fucking Witch of Mercury. Maybe that's what's doing it to people. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no! Wait. Saved! Space donut. I'm still dying horribly, and my team is also dying horribly. We're not winning. Oh well. It was worth an attempt, but the problem is my team also cannot get through the choke point and survive long enough to do anything. Even if they have a unicorn there. It's just one of those things where the players in the kill ball aren't smart enough to actually move the kill ball around. There's nothing you can do against that. Well, there's nothing you can do to support that, even if you're the one smart player on your team. Unless you're killing literally everyone, there's nothing you can do. Keep playing fucking Ashamar, then. You could be super awesome and, start, headshotting people left and right. The problem is you're never going to kill the entire enemy team, but you shouldn't have to, because your team should be able to at least punch out the guy that they're the counterpart to on the enemy team, right? There's 6 people on each team.
We're dropping you back in now.
Got it. Looking good over here too.
But in this game, clearly, that is not actually a common thing. But oh well, I haven't played in like 2 weeks. Mainly because, the massive amount of sweats and the people demanding I play Metro kind of took me out of that. Actually, not even the massive amount of people. The very loud people in general. Not very many of them, but they were very, very fucking loud.
Over here. Here.
I wish to go up.
Has begun their assault.
Leave it to me, boss.
Sighted an enemy unit.
Whoa!
Combat in progress. Deploy at once. Got it.
He tried to dash forward for the medkit and he didn't get it. That's some real fun lag on those projectiles, good lord.
That's one down. Chew on this.
See, that's the funny thing about the Ashamar. It's a very easy unit to play, mainly because all you have to do is be excruciatingly fucking annoying. I had to bail there because I didn't have enough health, but oh well. Unfortunately, we have lost the corner. This is tactically very bad. Nor does my team really possess any major, combat prowess, so, yeah, I'm not really holding out hope for them here.
An allied focus has been destroyed.
Me? Fine.
Coming back with the vengeance.
I'm doing alright for now. Just one of those things where, well,
Hostile activity.
nothing's really changed, I guess, but I feel slightly better after forcing myself to relax for a bit.
Eliminate the enemy as soon as possible.
I enjoyed a nice survival horror game about android girls and madness. You know, that thing that I really like. You know, kids and fun, except they weren't kids, but you know, what anime people and fun.
Over here.
Being in horrible, threatening situations and trying not to go completely stark raving mad. Just like my writing, really. Except this had a way more fucking math. Well, not really in your face, but you started to look at the examples of what you're doing and you started to look at things around what you were doing and you started to realize this was written by someone who is a STEM student. And thus has this weird fixation with bringing math problems into everything. Oh! See, I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for the auto-targeting gun tank. See, there's not really much I could do here. I mean, I can work on my headshotmanship here, but the problem is the front lines are just not forming with any sort of...
The enemy is capturing the objective.
Oh no. But what if I burn your grenade? No.
We've been defeated.
Crap.
No.
Thought we had that one.
Next time's gonna be different.
My team, I couldn't rely on it was one of those situations where if your team, the moment your team dies, you know that they're not, you know that it's unrecoverable. So you have to fall back to the next natural choke point, and then if they die, you're in a situation where it's just unrecoverable. You can obviously you can get more kills than I can, or rather was really. You can get more kills. However, I don't think it really would have done very much, because in order to get those kills, you'd have to play very, very evasively and, hide and, appear for a fraction of a second, shoot someone in the head, try and get the kill, and then retreat immediately. You can't hold ground like that. You'll get the kills, but you can't hold ground like that because you're constantly retreating anyway. Have ranked matches gotten better? Haven't checked! Probably not! Because there's nothing that really tells me otherwise. These are just warm-up matches so I can see where exactly I am right now. Where I am is rather sluggish. Rather sluggish and ineffective, but, I'd kind of like my platinum rank here, and I kind of don't want to lose it the moment I step in there, but it looks like it's somewhat unavoidable. But oh well. Like I said, I was playing a completely different type of game, which was more thinky and, well, there was a whole lot of violence, but it was real simulated, illusionary android violence, so still not real. It's not real, says the horrible totalitarian government in Signalis. They're not real people. There's no real violence going on here, except there is. I might just have to play Signalis on stream, even though it's a horror game, and thus I already know how to play all of it, and thus it's not going to be all that fucking scary when I do, but I haven't actually gotten the incredibly complex ARG fucking ending that was revealed, though. So I may have to just do that on stream. That might be fun to do, even though I'm not going to be solving it on stream. I'm going to just sit here with all the answers. Last night, I believe I saw some, not the greatest, saw some what? But anyway, I don't know, I've just got an infatuation with Signalis because it's a nice game. I don't know, it's a nice game, and it's, you know, tripped a couple of wires and buttons in the back of my head that just makes me think, what is going on here? What is the meaning of all this symbolism? What are they trying to tell me? Aside from read the fucking King in Yellow, you Philistines. This is really one of the major things the game does. They literally smash the book over your fucking head, almost. But I've just been sitting there tearing it apart because it's fun, and it's also given me a couple of ideas. You know, ideas for my own writing, not with direct copies, but if it is true, what they say, that upon reading The King in Yellow, you go stark raving mad. Doing so for me caused me to go just mad enough to realize that, hey, wait a minute, I've got a format here that might work out for my writing. We'll see how that works out, though. I'll tell you a little bit more about what the hell the actual book is once I actually complete the first fucking draft, which God knows how long that's going to take. But I've got a book idea. I'm not much of a horror fan. It's nice. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I don't really like horror games either, in a strange sort of way. But I find these somewhat nice. It's kind of I don't know. It's Necronica. It must have just been Necronica. Like, for example, a game like Phasmophobia, I don't really necessarily enjoy playing and actually puts me on edge. Meanwhile, hopping back over to something like Mad Father, which is not really necessarily scary, but just unsettling, I'm totally fine with and actually enjoy. I don't know.
The mission is about to begin. All pilots, prepare to attack.
I'm itching to get out there.
I am not really sure how this quantifies, but I suppose I like a facet of horror in entertainment.
Fire on this location.
But in a strange way, these horrible places are also peaceful, in a ways. Especially the save rooms in these fucking games. You know, you ever played Resident Evil? You know how calming the save room, you know, background music can be, and, you know, in basically all the games, particularly in the first game. Remember that? Yeah, all these games kind of have that, don't they? Just admit you like Weeaboo Five Nights at Freddy. Well, Deku, now you might have to draw Elster in a Five Nights at Freddy's outfit. You might, if I play it, you might have to do that, even though that's not at all what the game is, but you may have sealed your fate. It's him, Richard Dom. Yes. Richard Dom, attorney at law. Oh, hey, look, a melee Saku. That's, yo, post-nerf. Okay, he's dead. Okay, I'm not sure what was going on there, but he's dead. Although, I suppose, you know, now thinking about it, horror's gonna be pretty good on the list here, even though we're past October. We've got, whatchamacallit, the pseudo sort of successor to Dead Space. I can't remember what the fuck it's called. I put it on my wish list, but it's basically made by the same fucking people. It's basically the same fucking game, but with, you know, some major differences, but it basically looks like it plays just like Dead Space. And then on top of that, you have a remake of the original Dead Space coming out. Not Dead Space, Dead Space. It's made by the exact same people. It uses some of the exact same elements, like the whole your health bar is on your back thing. The camera angles look exactly the same. It's in a it takes place in the dark, in space, with horrible monsters. I guess they're alive now. You can't call it Dead Space. Maybe it's living space or undead space. Callisto Protocol. Right, yeah, that. Thank you. Yeah, that looks interesting. And then I don't think Dead Space needed a remake. I think the original Dead Space as it exists is perfectly fine. I don't think you need more. Yeah, I'm not. Aside from maybe like a graphics update, that really won't be all that noticeable because Dead Space 1 was already a pretty good-looking game. I'm not quite sure what you could do to Dead Space, but I like Dead Space. That was another thing that I kind of went down a rabbit hole a long time ago for. Just figuring out exactly, so what the fuck is going on here? Spoil it, marker. It literally all marker. It's all marker all the way down. Fucking unitologists and their fake religion and their weird ass artifacts and your US government conspiracy and your horrible alien moon thing. That's Dead Space 3. I still think that's goofy as fuck, but I'm not sure if that really should have killed the franchise. I kind of wanted to see where they were going with that. Obvious of Dead Space is a living room. Well, no, it would be Dead Space. What would be a word that's the antithesis of space? Living what?
Spotted me. With their flyer.
Oh. Hello. I'm leaving now to grab this medkit. Dead air, no, space, as in space as there is space. What is the absence of space? Oh dear God. Wait, no, well, it still fucking hurts a lot, I see. What is the absence of space? Like, what is a term for you have filled a space and there is no room left over?
Let's go.
What is a word for occupied space? Come on, let's be clever about this really dumb joke here. Living mass? Well, that's still basically part of the game, honestly. I'm not just saying that because I have a habit of including biomass in a lot of things. Congress.
The enemy has captured the
Yes, Living Congress. It's a really strange take on the on whatchamacallit, on 4 from Black Ops 1. It's a really strange take where you play senators instead of John F. Kennedy and Castro. Fucking Bob Dole and what is it, Dan Quayle? Who just says the dumbest fucking things.
Megatron countdown has begun. Megatron is at objective B. Prevent enemies from storming the Megatron. 3 minutes remaining. Thanks for the help. The enemy is trying to disarm the Megatron.
Ping! He's dead. I just killed everyone in this room. Aside from the Sazabi. The Sazabi is the only guy. Well, I didn't get that kill, but I assisted in killing 4 of the 6. That's pretty good. Really, it was incredibly easy, so all I had to do was just splash them. They all had really low health, thanks team. Mine it. Enjoy that. I did it again. I did the old put the bomb on a bomb. It's fucking Call of Duty. We're on the fucking the domination point. Or what whatchamacallit, the headquarters. I put a fucking C4 pack on, and the moment anyone goes near it, it explodes. But it doesn't explode past the point of giving us points, though. That's 5, right? 5. My bad. 4, 5, 6, 0. It's all fucking numbers. It's all just numbers, man. There's a segue to fucking Signalis again, because haha, number stations. Even though they add things, but they also don't. It's very weird.
Roger that. Heading out.
Tactical says you're doing well. Keep going.
Stick with me, kiddos. I'll protect you. Stay focused, gang. This ain't the practice yard.
Right.
Happy to fight by your side.
Now I'm thinking this is more and more palatable, even though I'm gonna be basically speed running the game. Might just sit down and play Signalis and show everybody how to get the secret ending, even though it's already all over the fucking internet. And I don't actually agree with the secret ending because it feels odd, but that might be something to do. It requires a lot of information.
Group up here.
Well,
Okay.
information that I'm gonna be putting past because it requires you take a couple of notes, really. Is that still in early access? What, Signalis? No, that's released.
The enemy has
That came out on the 27th.
Let's do this.
Time to get a little rough. Show us your best work, pilot.
They found me.
That Dom proceeded to die a horrible, horrible death at the hands of several explosions that weren't just me.
Destroyed an enemy flyer.
Second elimination confirmed.
Okay, we're doing well here. It's very nice. That Zaku made a really terrible decision in that he attempted to charge the entire group swinging. It's not really how you play a Zaku. If he was playing a Zaku right, he would have basically just tried to dart past us. Hey, atta go, boy. There you go. Go get him, Bobby Vados. Fucking, Jim Sniper the second. Dom Dole here, attorney at law. Bobby Vados here, fucking batter for the New York Mets. Let's go, Mets! We're just coming up with really dumb fucking things here. Oh boy. Why are you not being splashed God damn it. By my attacks? What is wrong with my hit registration? Ow. I tried to get out of there, but the Gym Sniper was just, I kind of just moved directly into in front of the Gym Sniper twice. But I don't know, yeah, we'll play Signalis, I suppose, since, I might as well actually make it part of my work. I did spend $20 on it, and I quite enjoyed, and even though I kind of know how all the puzzles work, I don't remember everything, and maybe you find something informative about me playing through the whole thing. Who knows, maybe I'll get the ending that's actually hard for people to get, apparently. What's Boys, you saw that, right? You saw how I was firing through the melee, Zuck, right? You saw how my shells were going at the melee Zaku and then not connect. Y'all saw that, right? How my projectiles weren't actually connecting with the melee Zaku, even though they were flying straight into his face, right? You saw that? I saw that. That's fucking weird. to be honest, 2 control point is a poor game mode to balance around. Well, this entire game was, look, let's just copy Overwatch and see where it goes. That's just the whole fucking game. Which, honestly, it seems to be doing kind of okay at, because, well, Overwatch 2 is a dumpster fire. I'm giving you all buffs. Disarm the fucking bomb while I bully the Zaku into submission. Disarm the bomb.
Using the mega charge. That mega charge is going to blow.
Ha ha! Fire superiority.
Disarm. Allied unit down.
Just fire your guns wildly in the enemy's direction, and they'll have to take cover because they might think you actually have aim. Yeah, but that was sure fucking weird.
Mega charge.
Yep.
The enemy has set a mega charge at objective B.
Well, I figured I'd get him through that, but it didn't.
30 seconds left in the mission.
That may have just been the ult of the melee Zaku, but, I don't know about that guy. I can't say he's cheating for certain, but...
10 seconds remaining.
Oh well. I don't know, it just seems kind of odd. It just seems like my damage isn't,
3.
it's kind of avoiding him,
Now
in
entering
a way. That may just be my bad aim and incidental happenings, but, don't know what was going on there, but it didn't help him win.
victory is ours.
Boom, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Smooth as silk, yo. Nice job. Sorry.
Says the 3 guys with the same voice line, the guy talking to himself over the radio, talking to himself. Odd. I have not played a Blizzard game since Warcraft 3 or Diablo 2, one of them. I really haven't either. I mean, Overwatch I felt was okay, but it didn't really seem like my type of game at the time when it was actually popular. I mean, it still is for some reason, even though people can't really seem to internalize the whole, if you want a company to stop doing shit, stop mindlessly buying their game. Or in this case, mindlessly playing the game because it's now free to play and objectively worse. It feels like Overwatch 2 wasn't actually a sequel at all, and I think everyone realizes that now. The question is, though, why are you still all fucking playing it then, you goddamn mooks? It was clearly some kind of, it's clearly just an update that probably actually just got rid of all the loot box shit to, comply with European laws. Even though apparently it's still breaking laws currently. But again, guys, stop playing the fucking game if you want things to actually change. Go find something else to play. I found it. I was sitting in a corner playing horror games about android girls with bob cuts. It was fine. It was great. It's math. Overwatch 2 is an expansion pack. Yeah, barely. But yeah, no, it was great. There was lots of math and people going irrecoverably insane. It's great. It's great. Fucking branch out and go play a new fucking game, you morons. Come play Gundam Evolution if you have a wasting need to play Overwatch's format. Or, God help you, go play TF2. Oh, someone took the oh. Oh, well. Actually, well, let's see. Hey! I could have grabbed that, but hey! Alright, fine, we'll be utterly cancerous here. Bobby Betos, the golden man.
Ready for battle, command.
I stopped at roll cues and Blitzchung just kind of sealed it.
Warning.
Yeah, again, people were very quick to forget that for some reason.
To battle stations.
You know, wow, it's almost like those chaff grenades and, like, not even like chaff grenade, fucking flare programs out of a fucking AC-130, more or less. It's almost like those complex dances of distractions and oohs and ahs, like revealing every character in Overwatch is basically some form of gay now, actually worked on the stupid people, even though everyone realized what it was for. They fell for it anyway. They kept, like, it's like saying, ah, a trap, and then falling directly into it anyway. You still need the gold mace skin. I actually might have that, I just didn't actually bother to check to equip it. But again, they've showcased rampant anti-consumer, activity, and are just terrible fucking people.
The enemy has begun their assault.
People still keep playing their fucking game for some bizarre reason. It's like they're goddamn hypnotized. Maybe it's the porn. Maybe they're all just incredibly hypnotized by the porn. I pressed a button. Ah! Again, there's ways to get around that by just not playing into the Barbados' hands, but there's also really no way to get around it once you accidentally walk into it. It's still stupid. It's still really just not a mechanic that really should be in this game. Oh, he dodged. Whee! I'm not really, no. I went too far and I didn't get my kill. I could have boosted out of there, but do I really want to play a Barbados well? No. This is one of those things where I play it for the cheap laughs that the incredibly abusive melee units get, and then that's about it. I could be super pro at this, but I don't think anyone's going to be really respectful of me being super pro with the Barbados. Except maybe Tanya, because she apparently really likes Iron-Blooded Orphans, which, okay. But, again, we must acknowledge the evils of this machine. It is unholy. Unfortunately, there's just way too many of them over there. Whoops. Again, that was one of those situations where I was in the position that I needed to be, but all of my teammates were dead, so it didn't fucking matter. The only thing I could have done that would have been smart is to just stay away from the point to stay alive, but that would still cede them the point, and yeah, I'd be alive at the front, but I'd still have to retreat basically to where I'm standing right fucking now. So I might as well have died. Wrong button! Bonk! Again, just walking forward, smashing the fucking mouse one. I'm not doing particularly well because, honestly, partially I don't want to be. Unga Bunga, yes, Unga Bunga hit with stick. Unga Bunga. Damn it. It's one of those things where it's like, okay, maybe I can get real close to these guys if I keep going up. Nope, there's even more enemies around the corner. Oh well. Again, I should be ambushing or going around them, but I don't know, I just want to rush forward and press F on people. It's kind of like judo throwing in the turn A, except the judo throw is kind of like commendable, and this is just excruciating. Where'd he go? Where did he go? Bomb. Oh, you see, I would have killed him, but there were more teammates over there. Oh well.
Scrap out there. Watch out for that AOE.
Unga Bunga. Enemy robot no use if Grog throw large stick. Large stick break robot. Robot useless. Grog with stick meta. You can't tell him he's wrong because his idea of meta compliant is things that kill other, mobile suits. He's not wrong.
Let's go.
Area contested.
Grog achieved tactical superiority by breaking large stick over enemy robot. Grog continuously running the entire enemy team, though. Kind of problem. I can make it humorous by being literally a caveman playing the worst Barbados ever. But I kind of would like to win. It's more funny if I'm actually winning, too. Like the rock-chucking Zaku in Versus, and the kickboxing gun cannon, who also throws rock on occasion in some games. How the fuck weren't you stunned, Mythos? You were in the blast radius for that. Oh well.
Yeesh. It's raining scrap out.
You want some of this? Let's go!
Well, I got one guy with that. It didn't help though. Come on, get in there. No, wait, no. Grog say, me Grog, incompetent at Barbados with big stick. Big stick good, but not going to win entire game. Grog ask, what your excuse for playing like trash? 5 other people beside Grog on team. Grog only feel like only one on team. Grog only feel like Grog is on team. Grog team. Everyone else irrelevant scrub. Grog ask, why? Grog get no answer.
Ready for battle, Command.
Are you ready? We're dropping you back in
Space
now.
Clan use light stick. Light stick no hurt. Og have big stick. Yes, Og have large physical stick. Only thing greater than stick is boulder. Yes, boulder. Ancient tribe use boulder once. Pinnacle of all warfare. Scene of colony dropping on Sydney. Grog remembers stories growing up. Majesty of throw rock, axis falling to earth. Throw rock at problem so great must be banned. Consequences too large.
Targeting this area.
See, clearly Shark consulted Grog for the whole throwing axis at earth thing. That's clearly where it came. That's clearly where that idea came from. And Shar just looked at the caveman beside him and said, "You know what? That's brilliant."
Well,
We're just, it's so simple. It's beautiful. We're just gonna throw a very large rock at Earth. That'll get everyone off the Earth. Grog, you're a genius. Thank you, Mr. Astable. You see, I'm doing this and I'm having fun spitballing here, but I don't really want to play ranked with this attitude because I'm just not fucking paying attention today. I'm in the talking and making jokes fucking stage here, not the winning the game and being a try-hard mode.
They found me. Reloading. Help is on the way.
Wow, okay. I put down my fucking heal cannon and it burst as soon as it hit the ground. Nice.
This is gonna
I know what happened. It fell into the fire of the Ashamar, but good lord.
objective contested.
God damn it.
Successfully captured the waypoint.
I'm here for you. Anyone still
No.
Fight for control of the target area.
Load. Aww. Well, we're all dead, and we lost the control point. Good job, though. Good job, guys.
Captured the waypoint.
You sound like you're having fun. I'm entertaining myself, even though I'm not really paying attention to the game. I don't know. I guess I'm not in a try-hard mood today.
coming back with the
That kind of
vengeance.
comes with the whole I have been relaxing thing, so the nerves aren't exactly in the same positions, which is largely a better thing. Even though it means that I'm not exactly being super pro and my reaction time isn't nearly as high as it needed to be. Well, it needs to be in general. I don't know. The humor is, I suppose there. The funny bone's there, even though I'm not, coherently putting together sentences a lot of the time. That's normal. I'm trying to play a video game and crack complex jokes. Even though caveman hit enemy with large stick is not a complex joke. I guess we won't be playing ranked today.
Getting serious. Help
Because I know I'm gonna walk in like this and just lose ranks over and over and over again. And you know what? Don't feel like doing that today. See, that guy's AD spamming like a fucking pro. My eyes are just not keeping up with that.
Select the suit you wish to pilot.
Let's try that again.
Yeah, Yeah, we got kind of we got ourselves an issue here, and I'm not exactly sure how to solve it. Wow, rubber band. Even though the shots probably came over the mountain there, I don't think it's high enough to really hide me. Uh-oh. Ow! Could have thrown a grenade at him, I guess, but. I think you're funny bone. I think being funny bones right now is good. Go back to ranked another day. No need to try harder right now. Yeah, probably sound advice.
I'm here for you.
Yeah, some days you're just not feeling it, I guess.
Maneuver standing by.
1 minute remaining. Suits are wrecked. Can I get some repairs?
That was really not the time to activate that, but you know what? Oh well. Yeah, no. I don't know, I guess I'm just used to other units where the ult will save me, but that never does. I don't know. Brain's not together today. So yeah, I shouldn't be playing ranked like this.
We have to place the mega charge.
Unless I'm playing gun tank, in which case the vast majority of things are well done for me because haha aimbot.
I'm here for you.
Oh!
Minutes remaining.
I should have just pressed V on him, but oh well, I tried.
5,
The heal can will revive you if you're in the radius of it.
1. Mission complete. We've been defeated.
Nah,
Crap. I thought we had that one.
nah.
This won't happen again.
There is no try, only do. Well, yeah, so we won't do. We'll do something else. Though I'm not really sure what to do today, aside from... Kinyusha threw the Citadel at me, you know, that game about that anime girl that doesn't wear pants, utterly refuses to wear pants and goes on a bloody rampage to secure the right of not wearing pants or some shit. And something about grenades and cultists and something like that. Was gonna put that on the list, but yeah, we'll probably play that sometime this week. Ah. Oh well, I guess I've changed modes while I was relaxing. Before I was going in on the try-hard mode and actually doing kind of okay at it, even though it was a fucking struggle. Now I'm in the haha funny mode. Solomon Grundy want pants too. Oh well, I guess that's still at the end of the day, I guess you have to deal with being yourself.
Select the suit you wish to pilot.
Whatever it is. Wow, okay. Apparently these people couldn't fucking deal with it though. Well, that guy. Fuck that guy. Oh, okay.
Mission complete.
I guess we won't be playing the video game after all. You mean you were ranked before? Well, last month, about 2 weeks ago. Got up to Platinum 4. It was an absolute fucking nightmare of an experience, but I suppose I'm not really up to it right now to actually go back into that shit. I don't know, I'm still trying to find my groove now that it's showcased that I cannot rely on gun tank if I want to actually win every game that I'm in. Which partially isn't up to me because it's a team game and I can't salvage bad players on my team, but also it's because the gun tank has a problem with actually winning 1v1 situations where it can't output shock damage fast enough to kill more than one person. So basically, if you get outnumbered, you're not going to be able to kill everyone in front of you, and you're going to die. And if you're dying, you're not winning. So this is a kind of a critical problem you have to look into. Or I actually have to look into. It means I have to play other things. I have to learn other things that actually can do that. The Dom seems like it's still a pretty reliable thing, but as you can see, the Dom, the Pale Rider, they're all in very high demand.
You wish to pilot.
I wouldn't have a problem playing the Dom in ranked, but it's a suit that I'm gonna have to fight people over. Radical idea, duct tape together more gun to tanks. Well, that's gun tank 2. And then the radical idea of duct taping a giant napalm canister to the back is the suicide gun tank from Igloo.
Your goal is to capture both
The gun tank does have variations.
The mission
We just
is
usually
not
never see them, and yep,
all
there's that.
guns prepare to attack.
There's that Witch of Mercury thing again.
Get out there.
There's that hip new Gundam. With cute girls holding hands and stuff like that. Which, I'm glad people are enjoying Gundam. However, there's also an obscenely large number of people I know who are posers. People who are talking all about how Gundam is so fucking amazing, and motherfucker, if you guys really thought this, if the general consensus was that Gundam was this fucking popular, I would have gotten lots of, I probably would have been, more socially popular myself in, elementary school and junior high school. Probably would have gotten laid as well if that was the case, but I know that's bullshit. So shut the fuck up, you poser hipsters. You're only here because the girls are holding hands in an anime. Even though it's not new either.
Requesting emergency revival.
That's a lot of shit. That is a lot of shit. You might want to heal that guy over there. You're standing right next to him, and you're safe. Can't heal everybody all the time. Oh, you son of a bitch. Well, there's really no reason not to suppress the ever-loving fuck out of this gym sniper as soon as I catch him. Alright, that's the Mephis. There he is again. There he goes. Oh.
Get that soldier back on their feet. Let's get you back on your feet.
Things are going well. All troops, press the advantage. This objective is nearly
Yeah, that was a rough advance, but we just kind of pushed the enemy back and then went like, okay, we'll go back.
Proceed to capturing objective.
I don't know, that was rather sloppy, but we were winning, so oh well.
I won't even leave a mark.
I was looking for my boosts and it wasn't there. Oh. Alright, it's that wonderful time again where we try this.
Select the suit you
The gym sniper there is complicating things, but here we go again. Time for that double rank promo. As soon as my team is actually alive again, because I noticed all the mooks fucking died. Whoa. That position, you must now abandon it or perish. Yeah, okay, now get up there, kids. Come on. Get in there. Okay, the gym sniper has fucking actually disappeared, so that's good. Nope. Oh, come on! What the fuck? How did he know I was there? Hey! Wait a second! How did he know I was there?
hostile.
Wait just a goddamn second there. How did he tell I was? He never laid eyes on me. But how? Also, he's now repeatedly shooting me in the. I mean, granted, again, Ashimar hitbox really large, but still. I guess we're going back to Dom. We're over the choke point. I managed to do my job, which was just disable. No, we're going back over the choke point again. Sweet mother of fucking Christ, guys. I'm giving you an opportunity to advance. No fun allowed, lol. Or something rather suspicious is going on there, but oh well. Cause, how did that guy see me? I mean, he could have saw me an instant, for an instant after I went over the wall, but he was already there. Like, he could have come out of the spawn as I went over the wall and I wasn't paying attention, but how did he know he was already behind that wall and moving around. I heard his footsteps, that's why I stopped. So the question there is, okay, so how did he know I was there to begin with? I mean, I also make noise, but he didn't visually lay eyes on me at any point. So, I am sadly not surprised by people cheating in this game, because in a lot of ways this game kind of pushes you to do shit like that if you want to actually win with any sort of comfort. You either get super fucking good or you lose. You either get super duper fucking good or you lose. So you're either super fucking good or you're super fucking cheating. Otherwise, there's really no middle ground for having fun here if you're losing.
New units down. Not bad. Capturing the objective. Nice. Objective contested. 3 minutes remaining.
Uh-oh. Ah! God damn it. I tried to shift and then I boosted off of the platform. Whoops.
Objective contested.
Terrain. The wonders of terrain hazards, and this is the only map with terrain hazards. This map is probably the test bed for terrain hazards. It is probably either going to be removed or expanded upon, depending on how the developers see terrain hazards. This is the map will kill you map. Just in case anybody decides to have any funny ideas about healing over here. The hospital is closed. It doesn't accept your insurance. Damn it. I jumped. That was the problem there. It threw the fucking sight of the bazooka off and I wasn't able to put it onto the Methus. I didn't have my charge either. But this is it's playing very, very, very slowly. So I guess I'm not the only one playing like tomato paste today. But again, there was always a problem with being able to do anything, and putting yourself out in the front line really usually, gets you killed relatively quickly, even if you need to be out there to kill people. Nope. Systemic loss!
Select the suit you wish to pilot.
Alright, I think it's enough time has passed for this to potentially work again, because we keep getting stuck at this choke point, and we need to stop getting stuck at this choke
1
point.
minute remaining.
We need to stop getting stuck at this choke point, guys.
Your teammate's performance is exceptional.
Ow! What the fuck? Instantly dead by that? Okay, well that was enough of a distraction to get their goddamn attention away from the point, so there you go. It's kind of like a weird-ass skeleton key for getting over the choke point. You make the enemy retreat from the choke point rather than killing them. There we go.
10 seconds remaining.
How did you both fuck that up? God damn it.
3, 2, 1.
Probably should have revived one of them, but I didn't think that they were both fucking dead behind me. Well, oh well. Team didn't want it enough.
Select
And I guess the strategy isn't necessarily new for this whole shenanigan, but boy, there's not a whole lot you can do when your team is sucked so much they can't get through the choke point. It's really obvious that your team isn't going to be able to actually fight over the choke point in the first couple of seconds of the fighting. So you need to actually find some way of getting around it, or they'll just sit there the entire match. You stand there and you watch them, and they'll never get through it.
Ready for battle, Command.
They either have the skill to stand in the choke point and outshoot the enemy on the check while they're sitting in the checkpoint, and then push them back by sheer force of I shot you better than you shot me, or they get outshot by the enemy and you don't ever get past the choke point. That's just how it is. The map design in this game doesn't really allow for actually any complex flanking, and actually most of the time the game actually isn't really all that great for it. Like, complex flanking, like the Ashamar, like I was doing with the Ashamar, isn't necessarily a tactic, it's a suicide. You know, you're gonna die instantly, because the entire team will turn in your direction and you will not be able to get away, nor will you have the support to kill them. You'll just die. It's throwing your life away to actually get them to do what they've been doing, which is fall back off the choke point and giving your team the choke point. However, as you saw, the moment the enemy comes back onto the choke point after they've killed me, your team hasn't really improved, so what happens is they immediately get stonewalled because they were not able to outshoot the enemy enough to get through the choke point. Why would they survive it when they come back? So it's a situation of you can't save the shit team, and the shit team is always shit. So at the end of the day, the moment you have to somehow carry the entire game without the shit team ever actually needing to do anything, or you don't win. The moment you have to rely on the shit team is the moment they lose because they're a shit team. Because a lot of this game is actually needing to fall back in order to survive, but just surviving while letting the enemy capture the objectives and control the map is worthless, because what have you done? There's no permadeath in this fucking game you have to avoid. What good is surviving if you don't win? But you see that I couldn't actually get my footing because nobody else could get their footing either. Isn't this nearly every free competitive PvP? In a way, yes.
They've nearly captured the objective.
In a way, yes. I'd much rather have something else to play, which unfortunately isn't any of these competitive multiplayer games. The only problem is, this is kind of how most streamers need to play in order to do, like, anything, or get any traction whatsoever. Like, I know I'd probably get some attention if I played Modern Warfare 2. The only problem is I don't want to play $70 for a game I know I'm not gonna like. But you see, that's the point of actually having to play something that you don't like in order to get some traction there. So I know I'm hamstringing myself by not following that. The only problem is, at this point, it doesn't really matter because I'm so low in the algorithms, nobody's gonna fucking see me.
Enemy is capturing the objective.
But maybe we'll get to the point where the hell algorithms stop ruining all of these websites, and eventually, people will be circulated more fairly. But until then, I'm gonna have to wait for lightning to, me capturing lightning in a bottle doing something. Oh no! Well, he blew himself up. I technically got that kill.
Mission complete. We've been defeated.
I suppose I've had these arguments all before, or discussions about this stuff, and it doesn't really seem to, this might sound a little bit untoward, but I know I've been right about some of these arguments, and I've had correct opinions about them. It's just that in the end, it doesn't seem that having the correct opinion and even saying it really means anything. Because I know I've been right about some of these arguments and some of the things that I point out about these games. It's just that these opinions don't seem to take me anywhere, even if they do wind up in the end being correct. So it's just not, it's not about actually being here and saying, well, the correct thing. The right thing, I suppose, is based on your determination of what right is. Is the right thing the logically correct thing to be saying, or is the right thing the thing that gets people to like me more and furthers my career? In that case, I've been saying all of the wrong things for quite some time. Always try the new hip in the news free-to-play game, but heads and butt heads with popular streamers. I mean, I try and do that. The only problem is it doesn't seem to do any good. But then again, I haven't been playing the new hip free-to-play games. I've got some new hip games I could be playing right now, but unfortunately, there is no golden path to success open to me right now. Mainly because, well, everything is terrible for everybody doing everything, and you need a serious shot in the arm to actually carry you up, like the whole VTuber fad dragged people up.
Ready for battle, Command.
Again, some people who, you know, are VTubers are genuinely good entertainers, but how many people are dragged, how many people who would have been streamers before were dragged up higher than they would have been with just normal streaming just because they had a cute avatar? Honestly, probably a whole lot of people. And so you need something like that, but I don't know. I don't know. It feels like I don't want to chase that fad, even though, you know, I kind of know how it works from a distance. I guarantee you I'd probably at least double the amount of viewers that I have right now, but it's not a very big, jump.
Join up on my mark.
That's the crutch of it. Do you want to be yourself, or do you want to sell your soul chasing out the algorithm notes? Well, unfortunately, I'm kind of here, and I kind of needed to make a career out of it, so I kind of needed money. But unfortunately, we have wealthy investors like Dancing Fool, for example, that make sure that I actually make disproportionate amounts of money due to my size. Unfortunately, even with that note of disproportionate, I'm still not making enough for this to really be sustainable outside of my current living space. So currently I'm still living with family, paying what I can, but in the worst case scenario, I'm living for free because I can't pay for anything. However, a lot of people are in this situation because the economy is fucking absolutely terrible, so it's not like people are actually doing it for choice. But the thing is that even, you know, my point being that even if I do make more money than I should with the rather small viewer base that I have, in the end, it's still not enough. So I need even more people like that. But the problem is that there's no real crutches to actually grab at. Unless I want to stop and pay like $2,000 for a fucking good VTuber avatar, which I don't got that money right now. Nor do I want to embark upon being a VTuber with a terrible avatar, because why do that? Then you totally know that I'm just chasing it for clicks. Which is not the person I ever really wanted to be, and some people realize that, and good that they did. The only problem is, unfortunately, that didn't really get me anywhere, because it seems as though, honestly, unfortunately, what people want are the people that go after shit just for the clicks, in a bizarre way. People roll their eyes at the people who say, hey guys, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, you know, smash the bell or some shit. People roll their eyes at that and they feel, you know, that's tacky and, you know, begging for attention. But the thing is, those people, you know, I don't do that, and those people have more people following them than I do. So what the fuck, guys? It's not like, oh, you just started doing this, Phonto. You just gotta believe and go with it, and you'll get somewhere. I've been doing this since 2016. So, really, it seems as though I misinterpreted largely what people wanted, and, well, that's rather unfortunate in my case, but also I'd rather point out that what these people what people say and what people do is the disconnect between them is fucking retarded, ain't it? Like, for example, we all, everybody gets all up in arms about, social justice and, people being bad people, yet we turn around and people are still playing Blizzard games, even when they've been outed as absolutely terrible fucking people. And also anti-consumer and not actually listening to half of the things, their player base complains about. Yet these people are still playing their fucking games. What's going on? Are you all hypnotized? It looks as though. You're in control of your mouths, but your hands seem to be completely beyond you. So, I don't know. Personally, I'm having this disconnect with popular culture, even though, not just because I'm 30 and I'm looking at all the Zoomers going, what the fuck are you guys doing? What? But because I've seen how trends seem to, what they project and what they wind up being two completely different fucking things. To a nonsensical degree that makes it seem as though, wow, we have less fucking, like, standards than ever, apparently. I don't know. So I don't bother saying, I'm not bothered by saying that the money's good, but I question whether or not I actually want to be famous anymore. Looking at the requirements of, the people I'm going to have to entertain in order to have a sizable audience, and I look at the mainstream and go, I dislike or hate all of these people. Or just don't care for anything, or anything that they actually seem to value. It's all, one, it's all alien to me, and two, there are so many fucking people already doing it. How the hell am I supposed to break into it? I knew this was an oversaturated market to begin with when I started in 2016. However, I had some potential assurances on that, but none of that shit worked out. Unfortunately, it worked for a bit. However, largely I've been in, just kind of left to my own devices. Every man for a fucking self really is what honestly wound up happening, and this is where I wound up. But it's kind of strange. I don't really know, well, I know what I'm doing. I'm working here, and, well, I'm trying to entertain people and talk about things, and, be an entertaining voice to listen to, which some people still find me as that, which is good. Maybe make a little money along the side, because, well, make some money. I'd like to make more money, but some money is better than none. But I know, like, even right now, the situation out there is so bad that even if I were to get a shit minimum wage job, I wouldn't be any better.
Preparations complete.
That's the really sad thing about this.
Let's do this.
Or rather, the state of affairs now.
Good luck out there.
But you combine that sort of situation with the fact that popular culture has lost me because it all seems so deranged and fake. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing now, but I know what I'm doing, if that makes any sense. I know what I'm doing in isolation, and that's playing video games on the internet and cracking a joke or two in hopes that people find me funny enough to throw money at. But as for what I'm doing largely, largely aside, outside of that, what my goals are, what I seem, anything past that, I don't know. I even have trouble entertaining myself now because of all the fucking stress I put myself through. For, unfortunately, things that amounted for little to no gain. Or rather, not enough gain to actually be sustainable. I suppose I've switched to playing gun tank now because it's very easy to actually play. I can just look at the enemy and hold the button down. I don't actually have to concentrate or aim. I seem to have gotten adjusted to this, but the problem is, of course, now we see the team isn't getting through the front door. Because they suck, but oh well. There we go. Okay, that's 2 mobile suits run down. Now what the fuck are you guys gonna do about this? What are you gonna do with this hole I made you? I knew you were there. I didn't know exactly where you were, but I knew you were there. W plus mouse. Yes, W plus mouse 1 and talk. Philosophical gun tank, who just, his arms are just flying all over the fucking screen like a smart gun from Aliens while he sits down and talks deep philosophical, deep philosophical topics like, do the Space Noids really deserve rights? And the failings of modern culture, how it has become kind of a cesspit of even faker things than it was beforehand, and active antagonization for the sake of antagonization. It seems that people hold opinions to antagonize people more than they did before. And things that aren't really all that aren't all that good or commendable or entertaining, people crowd around purely because they get to be antagonistic with it. I don't really get it. I know there's a massive gulf of culture, but holy shit, guys, we can do something more productive than this. Can't we? I don't think the question is can we, I think the question is does anyone want to? I'd rather, just for the sake of saying that I did, but apparently that's not on the agenda for most people. Apparently not, yeah. I don't know what's going on, but, maybe Martin was right. It's those damn Rothschilds again, fucking with, the whole world. Them damn Bilderbergs screwing with modern culture with their algorithms and their fake activists.
1 minute remaining.
Most people just be right even when they're wrong, or just want to be, yeah, right. Most people, obviously, clearly, everyone has a need to feel right, like they're leading their lives correctly, but the problem is, that need being satisfied seems to be being satisfied for the sake of being satisfied, when it shouldn't. Even when it should, when you're wrong, you should change so you're right.
30 seconds left.
Right? But no, we're always right innately, and when we're wrong, it's like this weird fucking reality schism that needs to be destroyed. Right? I don't know, but some of the, thinking about it all out there, some things make sense and some of them don't make sense, but make sense in the ways they don't make sense. Words, man. I'm out here and we're out there, and the caveman's a zoomer, and I don't really follow any of this shit, Scoob. Don't build easily droppable colonies. Problem solved. Yes, don't put rocks in space. But I don't know. I could just sit here meandering talking about this, but this is, well, this is far from, like, enlightening philosophical discussion. It's not exactly a fair bohemian garden here, isn't it? Probably be a little bit more popular if it was, but I don't know. I'm just rambling now, I suppose, but I'm just generally unhappy with the way things are out there in the world, and not just because of the obvious things like Biden and everything about everything that's going on with everyone who isn't, like, out to make any form of sense, really? It's grown more from, the Democratic Party or liberal-leaning, types, and anyone who isn't a Republican just for the sake of it now. It's bigger than that. It's this entire schism of retardation. I don't fucking get it. It's grown very largely. You can't really pin it on one group, even though most people just throw out liberals as a catch-all now. But generally speaking, it's just this huge fucking mass of shit I don't like. Or rather, like, shit I know we could be better than, but no one appears to want that.
Select the suit you wish to pilot.
I don't get it. Like, I'm all for actually improving and going about something just for the effort of saying we improved something, but I don't think that's actually on the agenda for literally anyone. People talk like it is, but I don't see any progress being made.
Ready for battle, Command.
Honestly, in most cases, it's the in
Your mission is
a lot of cases we just go in reverse, which is the entire woke bullshit. It's just people going in reverse and making really dumb decisions,
Warming up's for losers.
and then crying, "Please don't persecute me," and then continuing to go the same way, making things even worse, with no attempts at correction whatsoever. I don't get it. Gun tank enjoyer spotted. Opinion tolerated. Why, thank you. Yes, once again, my smart gun arms are doing all the work while I sit here philosophically debating the issues of modern man.
right here.
Yeah, so you see, with my guns, the advanced technology of my auto-aiming guns, the human through the power of automation is allowed to sit and finally enjoy the thoughtful sustenance of intriguing conversation and philosophical thought.
Pilots, begin your assault.
It's just like Metropolis, man.
Fight well.
Happens to the best of us. Up you get.
But I don't know. It just really feels like I don't think I need to say this, that it just feels like everything outside has taken the most disappointing options that it possibly could have. And even when people have the opportunity to actually do something of value and to fix it, they don't. See all of the people still playing Overwatch 2, even when we all know that the game is shit. The developers don't care about the quality of the game, and continuing to support the game only condones them actually staying exactly the way that they are, because what you're showcasing to them is that they can get away with anything, and you won't care no matter what you say, you know, what anyone says or whatever stink people put up about, you know, anything going on. That's what you're doing when you still play bad games made by bad people. Pretty sure Metropolis made more sense than reality. Well, unfortunately, it seems that a lot of fiction writers made a lot of fiction makes more sense than reality. Some of it was a warning to how stupid things could become, but now reality is even dumber onto that. In a lot of ways, everything past COVID proved that we are not only susceptible to all of the garbage stereotype plots of you know, fiction. We're gonna be even worse than that somehow.
Rock and roll. Sorry, y'all. Looks like I'm out.
Like, COVID in itself was a massive, a total and complete
Select the suit.
validation for anyone who has ever thought of a zombie apocalypse plot ever.
Back with a vengeance.
Or like epidemic or plague apocalypse idea ever. Oh, well, clearly if we were faced with this sort of thing, it wouldn't happen like it does in the movies or in fiction. Would it? Yeah, of course, we would see the threat for what it is and respond in a timely manner. China pays off the WHO and nobody says anything for several months as the virus slowly infects the world. Well, clearly, once we actually realize the threat in full, we will actually band together as a nation, communities, as the human race, in order to throw back this problem. No, that's not what happened at all. In fact, we became even more fucking divided, infighting amongst each other while this thing continued to get worse. seriously, anyone who thought up the idea of society breaking down due to an epidemic or plague was entirely fucking right, beyond their wildest dreams, to the detriment of everyone's opinion of humanity. That's just kind of the thing I'm getting at. Fiction is somehow being proven right and not going far enough.
One down. There we go. Playing turtle over here.
That's 3 enemy units destroyed.
COVID more is less like a zombie apocalypse and more like a very dangerous incentive to not trust other people, and that distrust
1
lingers.
minute remaining.
Yes. Thankfully, we didn't have something more lethal than, what was it, 5% lethality or less? I think it was probably like 2%. Thankfully, we didn't have anything actually horrifyingly lethal like Ebola with 25% lethality. God help us all. I suppose he did, but clearly we need to help our fucking selves here out of the current mess that's left. But humanity was given a test after talking forever and saying like, oh well, that clearly we wouldn't. Oh, that's just a movie and stuff like that. Clearly we'd be better than that if we were actually faced with a crisis. And they were talking very high about this, and then once we actually had the crisis, we found that no, we were actually really dumb. Actually, even dumber than this shit took us for. Unfortunately, we never made it out of spawn here because my team just didn't go anywhere. I was cruising around there trying to get as many kills, but it didn't seem to matter. I'm glad RTS games are still being made, even though I'm pants at them. Well, we have things like Sins of a Solar Empire 2 coming, which is nice to see. However, my thing with RTS games is I like the idea, however, it almost always never revolves around the shit that I want it to revolve around. It just becomes a frustrating exercise of metagame concepts that you just can't play with other people. Like, the moment you enter another person, you put another person that isn't an AI that's programmed to play some sort of, some sort of pattern or, with some kind of theatrical inefficiency to it, I should say. Not making it easy for you, but playing in a manner that isn't hyper fucking efficient. Once you remove that and place a player there who's trying to win at all costs, the games just cease to become fun to me. They're annoying. It's an exercise in frustration to beat this person, and then I lose the enjoyment of the moment of me playing the game. Like, being the guy who's running the army, or in larger games, the country, or the empire, that is doing all of these things and conquering the world, and you don't have time to enjoy that. You have to beat the ever-loving shit out of that other guy. And once he's dead, the game is over, and thus there's absolutely no... Wow, Jesus fucking Christ, everyone left.
Mission
Okay.
complete. We've been
Okay.
seized.
I've never understood why in zombie apocalypse movies, where the hell is the military during all of this? Well, in a lot of zombie apocalypse scenarios, the military is the reason why any of this fucking happened. But usually, as it comes along, the military is quickly overwhelmed in whatever response because, well, people are retarded and they're genuinely they're unprepared for the response. So basically, where the military goes is they go out. They attempt to control the situation, see that the situation is uncontrollable, and then back up and attempt to reconsolidate under the government's guidance. Which usually means fuck all the pores, we need to actually maintain some level of society here. That's where the fences go up and the guns get pointed outwards, and anyone who isn't, looking quite right gets shot in the head. So the military simply becomes an enclave of sorts, because of their ability to... Their monopoly on violence. They're very well equipped for this. However, in a lot of cases, also the military never gets this far, and they are usually consumed during the whole affair, and the entire structure of the military breaks down as, well, the military commanders and leaders die like all of the mooks in the streets to this virus they barely understand. And so the military breaks down, and it becomes every man for himself, no matter where you are, in the military, in the government, in the civilian life, whatever. There's the systems above us just collapse in on themselves because so many people are dead, and there's no fallback options. So basically everybody just does whatever. Under the government's guidance, and that's why that's why that fails in the end as well. Well, some of them do. However, usually what happens is it continues falling apart, and what you'll have is like an enclave, like say World War Z, for example. What did the military do? The military went, okay, we're going to the Rocky Mountains, and yeah, that's where we're going. And please don't everyone follow us, because we cannot take care of you all. Just go to Canada. It'll be fine. Yeah, it'll be fine. They sent all of those people to die, but yeah, it'll be fine. And then, well, in World War Z's timeline, they had the Rediker plans, which essentially used people as live bait in order to save resources, which was horrible and unethical, but it worked, so there's that. So, World War Z is a situation where the military response is rational and actually effective. So that's a rarity in this sort of timeline. But the thing is, yeah, would we ever get to this point in real life if we face this? COVID says probably not. Nobody ever asked what the Air Force is doing during all of this, since it's hard to get overwhelmed by zombies when you're in a plane doing strafing ones. Well, yeah, but there's the problem with that. Zumberge, the problem with aircraft and precision bombing is that it's rather ineffective at actually dealing with the zombie horde, as it were. World War Z, again, is a good example of how this is rationally thought of, where, yeah, you can drop a 1,000-pound bomb in an area, but that doesn't guarantee that the zombies you mulch will stay dead if they're Romero zombies and need to be shot in the face. Sure, you're gonna catch some of them with shrapnel, but you might just blow some of them apart and they'll just keep operating, and then you've got a whole shitload of biological material sprayed all over the fucking place that you have to clean up later. It's, as it was termed, rendered tactically invalid because it's not quite what you need to do. It becomes ineffective even if, yeah, blowing up a whole shitload of zombies looks really cool. Under examination, it's incredibly ineffective at what it's doing for the amount of cost and effort for, effort, you just pay one guy to drop a bomb, but how much did that bomb cost versus how much did the plane cost, and then training the pilot, and then the time, the fuel as well for all of this, when you could have just paid some dude with a $5 rifle to go over and shoot the man in the head. That's easy economics there. So, while it's true, it's very hard to be overwhelmed when you're an omniscient flying machine of death. The problem is, you can't fucking quickscope the zombies on the ground in said flying machine of death. The Vulcan is a very accurate weapon, but it's not that accurate. Well, rational-ish, the Battle of Yonkers was every bad battle plan idea ever. Pretty much. And then we tried to, salvage that with thermobaric weapons, which even that didn't really work. You broke more than you actually saved there. And that's another thing as well. If you're bombing the ever-loving shit out of the zombies, you're damaging a lot of infrastructure. The infrastructure you're trying to reclaim by killing the zombies. So what you do is you blow up the infrastructure and the zombies, and congratulations, mankind reclaims a pile of ash. Wow, that was so worth our time. You see, we want to take the land back from the zombies because the land has resources and infrastructure that's been overrun with the zombies, and humanity benefits from having the infrastructure that it's lost and the resources that are still there. However, if you blow up all of that in the process of getting rid of the zombies, you really should have just stayed in a cave and left the zombies alone. It really doesn't matter. You get to walk around a little bit more, I suppose, but to what effect? Not really any. Love and Monsters, because in my opinion it's the most likely to actually happen. Stereotypical meteor scenario, we defeat the meteor, but how we do it is what leads to our downfall.
Your goal is to capture the target waypoints. The mission is about to begin.
Haven't seen that one, but
I'm itching to get out there. Let's see what they've done.
My entire meaning sticks here. Fiction is fun, but unfortunately we've proven with current events that fiction is right, and also more right than it actually really ever thought. It actually thought it would be silly. In some cases, they had to smarten up a bit. Writers had to work to think of ideas that made more sense than just calling us all a bunch of idiots, when really what they could have done was just called us a bunch of idiots and called it a day, and current events would have proven them totally fine. Like, yep, no, we're that stupid. I don't need to have the scientist guy who kind of knows what's going on here and has actually convinced people to do this smart thing that's caught on. Nope, this guy is actually unnecessary. Everyone is just fucking stupid and no one listens to those kinds of people anyway. Nope, this is actually totally fucking unnecessary. The end. Thanks, mankind.
Objective contested.
Coming back with a vengeance.
Objective contested.
I just wonder how the military would handle Lovecraftian creatures like Love, Death, and robots. Well, you see, that's the thing. That reminds me of whatchamacallit, the Mystery Flesh Pit. If you've actually seen that amazing meme of a fucking concept. Whereas one of the world-building elements of it is the flashing of a report, or the cover of a report with no information given, where it basically, I can't remember the exact title of it, but it's a very nice fake that basically stated outright how using nuclear weapons on the horrible flesh pit monster, if it were to awaken, would be totally ineffective. The thing about Lovecraftian shit and cosmic horror is that, once again, I have to thank Signalis for this, is the whole concept of, well, to use the quote, great holes have been dug where the pores of the earth should suffice, and things that have learned to walk, what's the rest of the term here? Things that ought to crawl have learned to walk. The idea is that humanity is treading in places that it shouldn't be treading in, period. And if we were to look competent in treading in these places, then the whole cosmic horror thing evaporates. So you wouldn't be Lovecraftian if we could handle the Cthulhu monster.
Area contested. The battle has turned in our enemy's favor. Area contested.
Team's got grit.
Objective
I suppose the only rational way to have humans win in a Lovecraftian situation is if we cause more harm than good to ourselves by the winning part.
Objective contested.
That would seem to be the only thing. Like, for example, we defeat the old one, but humanity is changed to its very core, and everyone's not quite right afterwards. Victory, massive air quotes.
Turn it around.
So that's what I've always gotten from the interpretation of Lovecraft things, even though I'm not exactly amazingly well read on the man's work. The idea, the prevalent idea is very simple. It's, boy howdy, there's some freaky shit out there in the universe, and humanity is very, very small and vulnerable to it. That seems to be the entire idea behind Lovecraft's way of spinning shit, aside from fanciful fucking bullshit. Just making up fucking words and names for things and then saying it's alien and I ain't gotta explain shit, it's old one. It's an old one, I ain't gotta explain shit, it was never meant for human ears. Everyone becomes fish face Innsmouth people. Pretty much, yeah.
Area contested.
Like a recurring thing with people, with Lovecraft himself and also people aping Lovecraft is the whole concept of, you know, the fishing village that was starving to death, and then they wish, oh, I wish the famine would end, and then they surface some kind of horrible monster thing and ate the flesh of it. And yeah, we kind of know where this goes from there. You can't really win against cosmic horror. The best you can do is survive with lingering wounds, mostly mental, I suppose, and then shit-canning it for a time period. It's kind of the thing with all of the old ones. Even if you were to defeat one, it just kind of goes back to sleep for a while. World of Horror is very good at this too, because the entire campaign is, an old one is awakening, we need to stop it, and in the end you do stop it, but the game is like, it'll be back later, no. You can catch like 5 minutes of rest, kid, but it's gonna be back later. And also, in addition to Lovecraft, I've actually, stopped and actually had a look at The King in Yellow, because Signalis beats you over the head with it. I like it. Even though it's the stuff that inspired Lovecraft since it came earlier. And the entire idea is that it's a book that makes people go frothing at the mouth mad and start babbling gibberish that sounds Lovecraftian, but isn't actually Lovecraftian. You just think it is. It's been grandfathered into the term. Because it just feels like it, but it's the things that Lovecraft copied in order to make his work.
Select the suit you wish
So,
to
you know, you read the copy of The King in Yellow, and then you start babbling about Hestur and Carcosa and the shores of the Lake Halil and all this other fucking nonsense that just sounds like basically just someone sitting there spitballing high out of their mind trying to make something intimidating sounding and succeeding. It's all made up nonsense at the end of the day that has very little connection with anything in reality, but it's frightening is what it is. It plays on the imagination of,
We're dropping you back in.
well, there could be some kind of supernatural omniscient shit out there. There could be something that's not necessarily under mankind's control out there that seeks to do us harm if we carelessly act around it. And, like I said, leading into Lovecraft's entire shtick is that there are very horrifying things out in the universe, and mankind is very, very small and vulnerable to them.
The enemy has
Same general idea.
Let's do this.
mission accepted.
But also, I like the concept of The King in Yellow being a book that makes people go fucking mad by reading it, because Necronica. And the key feature of Necronica is going frothing at the mouth insane. And then also, being an apocalypse scenario gives you license to bring in anomalous shit. Like, say, roadside picnic weird nonsense. So it's just a big stew of this shit. A big stew of things that may be real, may be hallucinations, and unfortunately, things that you'd want to be hallucinations that are actually real and will kill you. It's a fun time. It's not just about, cutting up little girls. It's about making them think, and then cutting them up. And then putting them back together again, so you can do it over and over again. That's the whole draw of them being zombies.
I'll help you up. Thank you. Okay. Back out there.
I mean, you had Bloodborne, which I'd say really showed what surviving a Lovecraftian horror would be like, in my opinion. And even that still ends up with lots of shit. Ends up with lots of shit that ends up horrifically. I mean, you're kind of working for an old one, in my understanding of Bloodborne. So you kind of just pick sides in a contest of old ones. Again, if I remember correctly. I've never played it, but I've heard synopsis about really disturbing, freaky things. But it seems to be, that seems quite a bit Lovecraftian there. It seems like a lot of damn universe you scary shit.
I'll help you up. Back out there.
See, one of the buffs that the Dom get is now I have 8 rockets in my magazine instead of 7. But in a lot of ways, I still feel like it ain't doing very much, but I'm probably not playing as hard as I should. Again, I'm sitting here, waxing philosophical about shit. Talking about fine literature and, once again, the dilemmas and problems that face the modern man and the modern, incredibly unsightly and just unlikable modern world. Said modern 3 times there. Need to work on that. Need to add more vocabulary to my prose. Perhaps I should, perhaps I should do like the old writers do and smoke a pipe and drink heavily and huff opium or something.
to objective A.
Acknowledged. Go for maximum impact. I won't even leave a mark.
zip. Absinthe. Yes, absinthe. Actually, I hate cordials. I unironically don't like cordials. They don't sit well with me. It's not that I hate the taste of black licorice, it's just that cordials as an alcoholic beverage never have sit well with me. And the first time I've actually thrown up, it was after drinking Jaeger. So that's kind of an experience that's like embedded in me. So whenever I taste a cordial now, I remember throwing up and Absinthe well prepared though is actually quite nice. It's just that well preparing absinthe requires you basically water it right the fuck down to almost nothing and add sugar. So basically what you're doing is you're watering down whatever the fuck it is till you can't even taste it. And wow, the Methus MVP, that's a rarity. It's 21 units. I think it's mainly because we all suck. I think it's mainly because I think the Methus got MVP because we all suck. Oh well. Oh no, fruited version. Eh. I still had cordials once in a while, but I don't know. I don't really have a favorite alcohol currently. I just mix things. You're not really helping an old one, basically. The guy before you made a deal with one to turn you functionally immortal in return for a child. That's what German is. He the collateral for the pact between Lawrence and the Moon Presence. Ah, yes, Moon God. And the doll is literally an inversion of German's obsession. Okay. The only time I see the doll really being parroted around is the one that VTuber that has an avatar that looks like the doll, and then also Deku constantly reposting that image of the doll. You haven't sussed it out that Deku also kind of likes this stuff, so... Unfortunately, I haven't had a chance to play Bloodborne, or it was never really seemingly a good idea. I don't know, it was never really seemingly a good idea to stop and actually attempt to play Blood... Maybe it's because it's a Souls-like, and those games are hard as nails, but I can handle that. I've proven that. I beat the ever-loving shit out of No More Heroes, and even though that's not a Souls-like, and it's a fairly easy game, it functions like a Souls-like. Or at least, is the game a Souls-like is? Except it's way less crushing in the whole failing department. It's a game about learning how to, learning essentially patterns. That's all it is. Learning complex attacks patterns, and, if you fuck up, you die. And then, on top of that, if you die in a Souls-like, it's typically costly. You either lose a lot of progress for your character, or you lose a lot of progress in, physically in the story because the save points are so far apart, or both.
This is a domination mission.
So really, it's just a traditional hack and slash game with way more shit upping the ante. I could play them, I wanted to play things that I knew I was kind of good at, or rather could be good at, I suppose, back then. Because, no one wants to watch me suck, which is probably why I don't have that many viewers right now, but I'm not even really looking at the viewer chat right now.
Select the suit you wish to pilot.
Hey, shit, I don't even have the session time up here. I'm just sitting here rambling because I know I need to be out here streaming, come what may. But I wanted to stream things I knew I was good at, and I knew no one was going to watch me suck, which is why I also didn't play Battle Royale games. Even though I probably could have, benefited from playing Apex Legends, but Apex Legends also kind of disgusts me. Even though I was still willing to play it, everybody around me didn't want to.
Your goal is to capture the target waypoints. Warning.
It's kind of weird. I never really had anybody to play those types of games with. The crowd around me just was not that type of people.
Now, how should we greet them? No problems here. Ready to intercept.
I did play Battle Royale games for some length, and, well, I've been playing Marauders, too, and that's fun, even though it's really scattershot, and that's... The Tarkov extraction shooter is kind of a permutation of the Battle Royale game, but beside the point. I can play them, but back then I kind of avoided those games because I wanted to play things that I knew I was going to be able to make good content for and not just die over and over again. And not really have any fun with either. But those fads have... Well, then they've come, and they're not quite gone, but they're on their way out. There's really no more dents to be made by being good at those now, which is a shame. I'm not that great at VR games because I like listening to music too much. I also feel this kind of problem, even though I do like... whatchamacallit, I do also like listening to music. However, yeah, the whole sound whoring thing is kind of a key component of the whole thing. Like, I can't play Marauders and not sound whore, or I will die. So I can't be listening to anything aside from that. Even if it is, slight ambient droning. Which is, I suppose, why I kind of like Signalis, because it's got the desolate droning in it, and I don't have to fucking sound whore to play the game, because it's basically a PS1 game. It's not that goddamn advanced.
Let's get you back on your feet.
It's a very nice, well-optimized, accessible PS1 game. It doesn't care about these sorts of things. There's something about being able to enjoy the moment in these games that I prize, that unfortunately, with most of the streamable, popular games, it doesn't exist. It's not something that people prize about the games or watching people play those games. Unless it's a horror game, and I suppose it is all about enjoying the moment. So maybe I should stream more fucking horror games then. Because the whole fucking part of enjoying the moment is being fucking freaked out by all the scary shit. You got plenty of time to enjoy that moment. You gotta have to run from it. Right? Still, I don't enjoy being scared all the fucking time, but you know what? Maybe I have to compromise in that regard. Because being enveloped in the moment is kind of the whole thing with horror games. If you're not enveloped in the moment, the game's not doing its job right. If you ain't spooked, the game ain't spooky.
Allied unit down.
I don't feel like being the guy on U571 listening for splashes. I mean, I enjoy that. Me and Martin recently attempted to play Wolfpack Drunk. They released a new update that adds more rooms. We had no idea what we were doing. The only thing we managed to remember how to do was surface and then shoot the fucking ships with a gun, which is just like picking your nose and doesn't actually work. They changed all the range tables on us. We had no idea what we were doing, and we were drinking heavily. So a recipe for fucking disaster, clearly.
We need that objective, pilot. Now's the time. Target 3 minutes remaining.
But that's kind of it. I don't quite understand, but we've gotten to the situation where we have games with way more activity that it's really hard to relax playing. And while they are cathartic, they sacrifice so much for that catharsis at the end. And in the end, it's such an undertaking after a while, it makes you wonder, what the fuck are we doing? Like, wasn't this supposed to be fun throughout? Didn't we grow up playing games that were fun throughout? And not about being nails hard the entire time? Boop. And then, somebody left the game. I guess we're losing. I guess we're losing now. I have a lot of losers here and a lot of shit teams. Wow, okay. Good thing I'm not really in the mood to care. I'm too busy talking to myself. Submarine sims are wild. That they are.
Select the suit you wish to
Which reminds me, I kind of want to play Cold Waters. I should do that. I should do that once again. Because that game is actually fun with the now rather extravagant mod system that they have. I watched Martin play a fucking destroyer with squids. It was actually really funny. And Solid Smoke, thank you for resubscribing, sir. Welcome back to the show. But Martin was playing a Soviet destroyer with squid launchers, and it was basically a game of, haha, I get close to you and you die.
For battle, command.
You're doing fine, pilot. Keep it up.
Stick with me.
I still
kiddos.
remember the mod that allows you to play a Kirov and how fucking silly that is. I think it's the same mod. I'm still amazed that we have come up with something as absolutely amazing as the ass rock,
Preparations complete.
which,
Pilots, begin your assault.
if I remember correctly, that is the designation. I forget exactly what the acronym means, but
Good luck out there.
it's a rocket-launched torpedo, so it's a missile, and then it's a bomb, And then when it hits the water, it's a fucking torpedo, which is just... How did we come up with this? It seems like one of the more impractical ways to kill submarines, but they're also highly fucking dangerous.
Objective contested.
Had an obsession mania with his student, Maria, who was a badass, but gave that life up and stopped being dominant, and now has to eternally suffer the sins of the corrupt church because they did some heinous shit that ended up biting them in the ass, oh no, as they ended in a literal form of hell. Yeah, that sounds, This is sounding on par with all things Lovecraft. I'm here, but I know I'm going to die because I'm the only motherfucker here. I could not drive that guy. They completely ceded that we're not winning. Like, we have 2 people dropped on our team. We're already not winning, but holy fucking shit, they just completely ceded that point. There's not even room to retreat. So it seems like we're getting all shit games, and good thing I'm not, like, applied enough to really give 2 flying fucks right now. I don't know, maybe it's because I found something more personally entertaining somewhere else. And again, I guess we're playing Signalis tomorrow, and we're going to actually go through and get the true ending, or what I think is the true ending. However, unfortunately, there's some, well, I have some questions, and there's some debate going around about a certain combination to a certain door no one can find. So, currently there are 4 endings to that game that we know of, but there might be a 5th one. I don't know. I have no idea how to get it though. It's just taking massive shots in the dark. But I know how to get the incredibly hard to get ending, which involves number stations and converting sound files to video or images, which is basically the game has its own fucking ARG. But it is also, on its own, a very fun game. Oof. Wow. Shit. It's also made by 2 people. And also reminds me that high quality stuff can be done with, you know, enough effort in an indie game. Makes me think that I'd actually kind of want to make a horror game kind of like that, but probably in the end less of a horror game.
We've been defeated.
Because you know, I'd probably start aping Necronica mechanics, and that's well, you kind of are a nightmare yourself, so you're just as kind of frightening as, you know, the nightmares you're trying to fight. So perhaps the game would just be more unsettling than a fearful experience. Don't know. There's also that book that's probably going to be way easier to fucking write than me learning how to code and draw cute anime girls. But then again, there's AI programming now for the AI, for the anime girls, so maybe I won't have to draw. Actually, I tried that. It's actually incredibly hard to work with. You can get some pretty good single image concept art, but the moment you try and work together something consistent is the moment the fucking thing infuriates the shit out of you. Wow, the rare Maharu in its natural habitat. Yeah, on a team that was apparently... Was it on my team or the enemy teams? I wasn't actually paying attention. Mainly because I knew we were fucking losing and there was nothing really to be done about it. But, alright. I gotta go to the bathroom, I'll be right back, but... We're having a very slow day here with playing... Really, if I'm gonna step out of all of these amazing, wonderful, thoughtful conversations that we're having here... yeah, we're having shit game after shit game after shit game after shit game. This isn't really going that well, but, I'm less in a position to be infuriated. Maybe it's all that resting I did. Don't know, but I'm going to the bathroom. I'll be right back, folks. Is an old one? Maybe we're not come from a fallen civilization that is going through the same thing as a city the game takes place in. Huh. Was this fallen civilization, was the name Carcosa, parroted around in there, I'm seeing that that meme is carried around a lot. Since, that's not actually Lovecraft, and it's not actually the King in Yellow. It's actually a whatchamacallit, a short story that's even earlier. So all this stuff kind of sticks together, and writers that write in it tend to reference literally everything in one go. All right, okay, let's hop in and do a little more. This is not exactly a thundering return to form here, but I suppose as long as it ends in some form of victory, I guess I'll take a slow start. But we're not winning very many matches here today, but thankfully, I'm not in a mood to be bothered by it, which is good. However, unfortunately, this is this thing again. I need to kind of actually be some form of exceptional. Unfortunately, my opinions and just sterling demeanor and bedside manner and amazing dash and good looks weren't exceptional enough, so I kind of had to try and lean on the fact that I could be kind of good at video games, but unfortunately, as we're seeing here, I'm not that good at fucking video games. Or at least not this one. So, question being, exactly what am I streaming of value that I'm trying to get people to watch me and actually, continue funding me? It's a question that's, well, kind of hard to answer now. But I guess I'm putting myself in front of a camera, playing a video game, and cracking a couple of jokes and hoping to God that people find me entertaining. It's not easy being me right now. Well, I suppose, in a sense, since I'm living with my family currently, I don't have a lot to worry about there, but then there's all of the quandaries of exactly what the fuck am I doing? Who am I really trying to be, and what am I doing? Crises of the soul, which you may see as child's play, not that big of a deal at the end of the day, but it eats away at a man in some cases. Well, when I figured it out, I suppose. Or maybe that answer is always just for me, and that'd be about it. And I don't really need to tell anyone, or maybe I can just sit there and monologue it to you on my deathbed. So maybe I pass on something important if I haven't already with some of the books and all that wonderful anime I'm going to make. When the money comes in. Crazy dream, but well. Crazy dreams give you some kind of optimism in a terrible time, then I suppose it's a good thing, isn't it? Lord knows we have people out there doing far worse things. Entertaining and supporting dumb things for the sake of feeling involved. And a part of something bigger than they are, even though that they're actively making everything worse for everyone around them. Me wanting to make an anime or two is probably not that bad. The answer is no Turf Masters. Yeah, okay. I am becoming less and less interested in all matters current with everything out there, because it's just becoming apparent that no one is really fucking listening. Everyone is just shouting obscene things to look cool to the people they want to look cool to, but it's not to actually win anything or change the opinions of an argument or make anything better. It's just shouting things to look cool. It's like getting into a fucking yelling match with some dude, calling him an asshole in front of the girl you like that he slighted somehow to look cool to said girl. That's kind of what it all is at the end of the day. The girl being a replacement for whatever the fuck thing you're trying to accomplish, or whatever group or whatever thing you're trying to get in the good graces of. But that's really all it is. It's just, I'm trying to look good for reasons that aren't actually of any value to anyone else aside from me. I'm trying to impress people rather than actually accomplish anything of value. Which you'd think, hey, if accomplishing something of value would be impressive, wouldn't it? But apparently not in the way these people consider reality. So really, as pressing as all these matters seem to people, most of them appear to be honestly overblown horse shit, and honestly, I really don't care for any of it anymore. Yeah, what is the deal with the guy who up and quit The Witcher? I'm not quite sure what the fuck was going on there. I heard about that. Is there some kind of controversy going over there? It seemed rather odd, but not that I heard that the Witcher series wasn't actually that fucking good, because they did a lot of really stupid casting calls, really stupid casting choices for multiculturalism in a situation where there shouldn't really be any, because it's a medieval thing. Leave it alone.
Let's get out there and tear 'em up.
Fight well, pilot.
Yes, I know, it's full of white people, but it's the medieval times. It's mostly white people doing things. It's not like there aren't any stories about other things of the same time period doing other things. You know, but it wasn't really based about... The image of the series wasn't based around that. There's really no need to change it, because if you change it, it's something else entirely. And usually when they do these sorts of things, it's not fucking good at all anyway. They make this massive series of changes to something to make it more better. Yes, more better. And in the end, what they produce is a product that's largely worse. Or in a lot of cases, demonstrably worse than, you know, what it was trying to ape that was so offensive it needed to change. And so what the fuck was the point? That's the whole enemy fucking team! Yeah. The showrunners were being dumb and Henry finally got sick of it, as I recall. Well, if he hates his bosses, then power to him. There's a lot of stupid fucking people in Hollywood, no, fucking God knows at this point. There were always stupid people in Hollywood, but now we've got a particular series of dumb. But, so if an actor, an entertainer, feels as though he doesn't want to work with a certain group of people anymore, it's totally within his rights. He puts a lot of fucking energy into it, I'm sure. It goes for really any actors, even if I don't like them personally. We're not getting... What is it about this situation that we keep running into? Like, I'm sitting here talking, but my team is just not making fucking headway in any of these fucking matches. What's going on? Like, sure, I'm not making headway myself because I'm barely paying attention here. I'm doing stuff, I'm getting kills, but obviously I'm wandering into situations that get me repeatedly killed. But why haven't we got a match where I'm being carried by a team who's clearly doing more effort than me? We haven't got a single fucking one. What's going on? And we're not getting through that because my team has all fucking died. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, this is one of those situations where I have to carry through this team and actually do something that will make us capture the objective, or we just straight up do not win. The other 5 people on my team are filler. Like, I need to go do something that actually gets us through here, or we just don't win. Oof. Trying to outshoot the gym sniper was clearly not the best idea, but I took out half his health. Basically, I wanted Geralt to make joke about his horse dying, which Geralt wouldn't do because he doesn't care, even if he names them all Roach, and they admitted that they didn't give a fuck about the books, which was the one line he couldn't take. Also, he'd get into fights about the fact that the things they were doing isn't how the world works. Okay, so the guy actually was seriously taking his role seriously, and then looked at the showrunners being retarded and going and saying, "Well, these people are retarded. Fine. Sensible decision."
Allied unit down.
There seems to be a lot of people who have access to and power to take intellectual properties, you know, to these entertainment spectacles, like, you know, television shows and movies and whatnot, and they're all fucking stupid now for some reason. They're all absolutely retarded. We do get we do get bright spots. Words. My team isn't getting through. What the fuck is going on? Like, I'm picking through a front line and I'm getting kills and I run into the bulk of the entire enemy team. And my team over there isn't making any fucking progress. Now they've got something, but I doubt that they're gonna hold it. Like, what the fuck? Is everybody else not playing either? Are we all talking to ourselves? And the man does seem like a cool dude, but the problem, yeah,
10 seconds remaining.
for some reason, we do get bright spots, like, say, Cyberpunk Edge Runners, which
4.
came, did what it wanted to do, and went.
Round complete.
But, we do get a lot of horseshit things where people are absolutely fucking retarded, and they keep doing stupid things, but even when we hand them these massive fucking failures, like, say, Cowboy Bebop. Remember that? How that went directly down the fucking tube? The Resident Evil show, down the fucking tube. We're handing them these successive fucking failures by just not watching them, and they're not adjusting at all. I mean, maybe they are slowly, really, under the radar, slowly now. Because I think executives of these studios are realizing they're wasting fucking money on these fucking people that keep producing horseshit no one watches. That actually might be changing far slower than it fucking needs to, but is.
Roger that.
But at the end of the day, it doesn't seem to really, in the moment, affect things when it really should. We really should have got the point across now that, hey guys, all of the shit you're doing is fucking stupid, please stop it. But where's the powder keg? Where's the fucking match actually gonna fucking catch here? When's the fucking light actually gonna start and then, set off the powder keg that really changes everything? It's very obvious that this is going to happen, but for some reason the match isn't lighting. Why? It's probably, it's those damn Bilderbergs again. It's the fucking Rothschilds, clearly. All these suspiciously funded people who are absolutely shit at everything, somehow maintaining what they're doing, even though they're not making enough money to really justify it on their own. So where's this funding coming from? Clearly, it's the Rothschilds again. It's the fucking, what is it? It's Rockefellers with Templar gold. Yeah, Deus Ex was right again.
It's me, boss.
Combat in progress. Deploy at once.
Well, not fights, but heated arguments. Also, Henry loved Witcher. He read all the books and played the games. He nearly missed being Superman because he was playing Witcher 3. Well, he sounds like he became really attached to his role, but it also, well, unfortunately, just because you take something seriously doesn't mean the people who around you are going to. And it seems like far too often we get, like I said, people who get in control of these rights who have no idea what the fuck they're doing, but for some reason they have this money that allows them to do this fucking thing, and they act like complete morons while they're doing it because apparently, they totally know what's going on, even though they don't. Again, I don't know what's going on, but I feel like there's a whole shitload of money going around to places that aren't really good. I tried, you saw me, but there's a whole shitload of money going around to places that really shouldn't be able to sustain themselves as they are. And this is keeping really stupid things going, no matter what anyone says. The worst still, there are people who seem to think that, look at this and then seem to think that, oh, well, this was the right thing all along because it's enduring, totally, and they become a defense force for this shit. They become mindless fucking zealots that you can't talk to, and then on top of that, they also exhibit really weird-ass fucking personality schisms, too. Again, I've just grown fucking tired of it. I hear gossip, I suppose. It still interests me. Because as I dislike most things, I love to hear news of it burning fucking down. Misery loves company, after all. In my case, misery loves, the best seats in the fucking house, which is watching all this retarded shit burn down slowly. However, I can say that, in the end, I saw all of this nonsense from the get-go. Like, most people, noticed something change in 2016, and I believe I understand what it was, and most people also understand what it was. Donald Trump won an election due to perceived internet meme magic, where he hopped over news, typical news media, or rather, standard conventional news media, and still managed to get enough people's attention to get their votes and do a surprise victory and, over Hillary Clinton and the Democrats who thought they had it in the bag. And thus, they turned around and went, how did he do that? And looked at the internet and said, oh, well, we need to control this now, clearly. And then they began to ruin the internet there. But it started happening way earlier than that as well. Clearly, this is all what happened. And I was on the side of looking at this going, I don't know who these people are or their intentions, but all of these people suddenly here now are totally fucking garbage, nearly wrong about everything, and producing, what do you know, garbage. Yeah, this is actually not right. Hey guys, can we have some sense in the fucking room here and realize that this isn't working? Like, no, you can't be yourself if yourself was so bad that it was actually self-harming, and even if you sit in that pit that you are in, and people let you sit in that pit that you are in, that doesn't make you happier or better. it's actually leaving you to your fate to spiral off into being a worthless person and dying a worthless person. That's not actually commendable, and we shouldn't condone that. Maybe we shouldn't, let everything be, and maybe we should actually have these arguments about things that are shit when they're being shit, and not just saying dumb shit like, oh, well, if you don't have something nice to say, don't say it at all, or let people like things, or whatever, when clearly, no, this was all triggering and leading to even dumber shit happening than even was. You can go back and talk about this all day long, but I was on the side that kind of noticed this, but I don't feel like I got any fucking points for it with a whole lot of people, sadly, which makes me look at this and become incredibly fucking jaded. I'm as green as kryptonite. The world needs another live-action King of Fighters movie. I mean, Street Fighter, right? The last guy who played Terry Bogard went on to direct some good shit. I have never seen. But, there's clearly a lot of things that we could be doing better right now, but even if you were to raise the idea to people, it doesn't seem like anyone really cares or has any initiative, and not just because it's a very bad time.
This is a domination.
I don't know. Personally, it feels like to me that I'm gonna have to do something big entirely on my own, sadly, in order to actually get anywhere. Maybe when I finish that book, it'll actually start something, even though who the fuck reads books today? See, I was smarter than this, because this is why I haven't actually sat down to actually write a book entirely. I know it had to... Nobody reads fucking books, so I know it had to be bigger than that. So I actually had to do, like, a visual novel or a game, but that's a little bit beyond me currently. I was waiting for the storm to clear, in at about 2018. So, when I started, doing The Dead in Sylvanas in the Discord. I punched upwards in a situation that was really fucking not that great, and hoping that if I kept doing that, eventually the clouds would break and things would get easier, and I'll be glad that I started earlier on. Right? But no, actually, honestly, since 2018, actually since 2017. Since 2017, things have only gotten worse. For everyone out in the world, but they've only gotten worse, and this is mainly why I haven't really produced anything. I had a lot of shit to deal with, and a lot of it made me, well, frankly, scared of my own ideas, and also drained the ever-loving shit out of me. Of course, can't let that stop you, but I also didn't want to produce schlock barely having gotten it done. I was in a position where I kind of needed a magic bullet, and unfortunately, I knew I wasn't going to get one in the state that I was in. Even if people like Sylvanas and all the ideas I throw out for these Necrotica campaigns. The problem is I still haven't actually finished the story around it. Most of the people who know me kind of pick up on all the Sylvanas, the Servant and Bosch stuff, but there still isn't something you could hurl at people and say, this is what this guy does. I kind of need that. And maybe this is what this whole book is going to be like. Once we actually, actually have it in our hands, me. Once I actually, have the thing fucking finished, but we'll see how long that actually winds up taking. Lord knows it's... If we're gonna be super duper accurate about it, this whole shit has been slowly developing since 2014. Not in any serious, determined, consistent line, however. And once again, I'm out here... and I'm shooting everyone, and I'm coming into the area we need to fight over. I'm getting kills. I'm shooting the place up, and I'm putting, pressure on the front that I need to put in. And my team is just like a wet fish slapping against a brick building. Like they go in there, they make a lot of noise, and they don't accomplish anything. Like, what the fuck is going on with my teams today? They don't seem to be capable of really doing anything. Like, the moment I leave them alone, they all fucking collapse. Well, that I can't fucking stand around for.
Objective contested. Objective contested.
Dancing Fool, nice to see you. However, the grind for the top hasn't actually started because I found that I'm not feeling it today. I'm part of me wants to say I'm not that hard today, but that doesn't mean what I wanted to mean. For some reason, something in the back of my head wanted to say that, but I know that isn't subconscious Phonto. That isn't actually what you want to say. That's not what that means. Uh-oh. I'm not focused enough today is probably a better way of saying that. I know I'm not doing well, and I'm not prepared to walk in there and lose every single fucking match in ranked, so I suppose we're not playing ranked today. So I'm just kind of twiddling my thumbs here, playing, you know, Gundam Evolution, and I came up with the idea that we're going to play Signalis tomorrow and actually go get the super duper secret ending, which I haven't actually gotten yet, so it's an adventure to do it, I suppose. You know, I've beaten the game twice. But I suppose it's a guide now, where you all can see all of the spooky shit. And you can hear my massive wall of theorizing as to what the fuck is going on actually in this horrible little adventure here. It's quite a lot, and also not a lot. You'll understand. And we also got other things to play, like Kadusha threw Citadel at me, and I figured, you know what, I actually kind of wanted to play that. We'll see actually what's going on there. And then a couple of other things that we could also play, and then also finishing Metro, too.
Coming back with a vengeance.
Okay, see, here we go. My team has suddenly gotten their shit together, and even though I died, they're actually holding a point and we're winning now. You see, this is what I'm talking about. I may be playing shittily and mediocrely, but then I look at the rest of my team, and they're doing even worse than me and not accomplishing anything even though I'm not present. Which, there are 5 of you, what's your excuse? You should be able to band together and actually still accomplish things, even though I'm dead, or rather my advances go nowhere, right? There are 5 of you, right? But up until right fucking now, all the teams we've been on have been totally incapable of doing this. And seeing this, it just makes you not bother wanting to... It makes you not want to bother. Ah, you missed. I knew the gun tank was there, and I didn't want him to get up, but the gun tank is back alive. Please secure the kill on the... Okay, the unicorn is dead. But we are still... This is actually close now, for once. Excuse me, that's coughing. What would it take to bring tribes back? If tribes actually being relevant in the current gaming scene? But then again, it being relevant would mean that what you would get at the end of the day wouldn't be tribes. You would not get the arena shooter that is tribes. Or the large-scale arena shooter that tribes typically is. What you'd get is, you'd get Apex Legends, but it's tribes. That's what you'd get. Because, unfortunately, games like tribes they're just not fucking relevant anymore. No one really wants to play them for some reason. Even though they may be good games, demonstratably in some cases, they just don't, people will just not pick up on them and play them in large enough numbers. I kind of like Tribes 3's whole vehicular gameplay aspect of it. That was entertaining, but that's because I mainly like vehicular play more than I like, you know, on the ground shooting stuff. That I found entertaining. That shit's a long fucking time ago. Oh, dear God. Like most people, I yearn for the days of the early 2000s where we had just barely gotten our shit together with 3D graphics, and things started to actually look pretty aesthetic, even though they weren't actually terribly detailed. We had a lot of good games going on out there. The only problem is those are all away. Those have all gone now, and sadly, I feel like Signalis, in the way that it's put together, like a PS1 game, showcases us that we didn't develop technology along with the quality of these games linearly, and actually, as I've been saying, we need to go back. We physically have to go back to that level of detail with indie games in order to get those games again. Which is frightening, but also nice because we get some, I at least, my generation gets to feel nostalgic when I play, like, Signalis and it being a PS1 game, essentially. It's like, haha, a game that's actually good, that has, like, Metal Gear Solid 1 tier character models. Wow, it's just like my childhood. Even though I was really terrified of Resident Evil when I was a child. That's the funny thing. Like I said, I'm not exactly an amazing fan of horror games like that because I was kind of a timid child. But now I find that, hey, these are actually kind of fun. Imagine the monkey paws consequence of tribes, but it's spreadsheets. Well, what would you do making... Bacon Rats, how would you make tribes EVE Online? I say that as an EVE player in the best way possible, but I know it is in fact yes. It is a spreadsheet simulator because in order to actually learn how to do anything well, you have to crack out the spreadsheets and do math.
Let's go.
That's when you have to actually sit down and really think about stuff and get the old calculator out. And I'm an EVE miner by trade, so I definitely know how that shit works. Which ore should I be mining today? How much ore do I mine per cycle, per how much ore, units of ore do I have in my hold? Versus, how much is it going for in the local markets, and how far away are these these buy orders, I should say? What's making me the most ISK per hour? This is all complicated fucking math that everybody has done in order to actually, you know, get anywhere in EVE Online. Or you just do dumb shit like load up a fucking destroyer with hybrid turrets and antimatter ammo and then gank some poor fucker before Concord catches you. And you do dumb shit like that.
Alright. It's ours. They've spotted me.
Yep, I knew you were there somewhere. Good thing I know where all the medkits are. There we go. Alright, now we got something here. Now I'm starting to get since the game's actually fucking close, my neurons are actually activating. Where my brain realizes, oh hey, if I play hard enough, I'll actually win this fucking fight. Wow! You know, you guys could get our teammates up. It'd be rather helpful. Yep, got him. Hey! What the fuck? It exploded literally right in front of him. Why didn't it do any damage? Huh? Okay, I'm starting to think this may not be hacks. It may actually just be a... What the fuck was that? Okay, never mind. That Marasai is actually kind of sus. Wait, what the fuck kind of a throw was that? That was over 2 fucking corners. How did he even actually get the shot on that? That man's sus. But as I was about to say, it might be a bug with just like, hit detection, not fucking applying in that case. It seems to be rather common. That or everyone's fucking cheating. Ah, nope! Rubber band. Netcode.
Target changed to objective A.
Gun tank rushing by a dead teammate to say that somebody else should revive him is just money. Sir, I was also killing a man? I was making sure that Marasai didn't survive long enough to get that fucking medkit. That's what I was doing. The unicorn was just fucking standing there. You will not return. I suppose, yeah. Everybody else is getting, you know, some horseshit lucky shots with, you know, getting shit around corners. You know, suspect hit detection and whatnot. Me, I just get the rubber banding of the netcode that allows me to actually hit people around fucking corners. You're dead, you're dead, you're dead. And we win. Drifto. It's like the fucking core fighter doing sweet fucking kickflips like it's a Matchbox car.
Select the suit you wish to pilot.
So yeah, that's what I was doing. A lot of the times healing people is suicidal and you will get yourself killed just for even attempting to heal your teammates. So you are forced to leave people to die. However, the problem with that is that I feel like a lot of people just offload all forms of actually reviving people, rather than actually learning when and where you can't do it, when and where it's safe. Most people just completely ignore it, and even though they totally are safe, they could stop and revive someone. They don't, and in that case, I was busy murdering a guy, so hang on. It was way more important that Marasai die before he gets that med kit, so we don't have to deal with the full health Marasai. However, me and the Dom were in that corner. What was the unicorn doing? So that's what I mean. The unicorn, we should have been smart enough to realize, oh, they got him. I'm gonna just revive. What did we have? Fucking Zako? Yeah, the Zako. I'm gonna do that now, but nope. I mean, he's good that he's learning that my abilities are good when I'm standing near teammates. Yeah. Also instantly fucking died, but oh well. Good that he's learned the whole stand near teammate. Yes. Stands near dead teammate. I'm doing my job, says the unicorn. The teammate needs reviving. He's standing there. He could revive him, but he only knows how to stand next to teammates. I'm helping, says the unicorn, around dead and dying teammates. I missed. There you go. Just in time for that. Like, he would have fucking detonated a millisecond later if I hadn't actually got that. And God fucking damn. And he fucking resets the fucking fight. And we're back to doing this horse shit. Now there's even more fucking guys over here. God fucking damn it all. I really hate this game's reliance on this resetting horse shit. I feel like the maps could do with just removing a large portion of these medkits. Maybe making them bigger and then having the number of medkits. Because I feel like the gameplay just relies way too much on people being like, oh, reset. Oh, reset. Oh, this guy who rushed me when it, it was, like I had low health and it was a disadvantage. Oh, he didn't actually get the kill because I stepped on a medkit. One of the, like, 3 medkits that's like 6 feet from me. That's 6 feet apart. Are we gonna get that Exia? You better get that fucking Exia. That man better not appear around that fucking corner.
Get back out there.
That. The man is dead.
They found me.
I'm gonna take a wild guess and say, yep. Oh no!
Get a load of this bad boy. Time to settle this.
Hey! Hey! Nice movement. Hey! Son of a bitch!
Enemy unit located.
3 minutes remaining. Target changed to objective C.
Well, that there is of no use. Even though, you know, putting a doorstop in front of the enemy forces would probably be a smart idea. I hear the Exia again. Well, actually, that's our Exia.
This is our target. Targeting this area. Understood.
I am here. It's the Crutch Bezos again. It's the Jeff Bezos. It's Jeff Bezos. Bezos here to take more of my my Twitch paycheck for what was it? Innovations. Yes, innovations.
It's gonna. I won't even leave a mark.
How to get how to have the Rothschilds get more money. That's his innovation of the day.
Light control of the target area.
Invalidated. And dip.
Objective C. Objective
Hey, I actually outsniped the gym sniper there. You've actually gotten one hit on me, I would have died horribly, but I managed to kill him. Okay, where the fuck are they? Because I hear the melee. That's a turn egg. Hey, splash.
now entering overtime. Mission complete. Victory is ours.
Not
Dear
bad,
Betos players,
kids.
meta this, meta that. Have you ever met a girl before? Ooh, like we're in fucking high school. Ooh. Good on the Dom is actually, well, it's not difficult to get MVP in the Dom, it's just rather uncommon. I helped. Yeah, that was the first team I actually had all stream for the last 3 hours. It says it on, yeah, it says it on the OBS window, even if I turned it off on Twitch. For the last 3 hours, it actually felt half decent, which was kind of appalling. So it may be that, yeah, maybe that the player base of Gundam Evolution is actually kind of trash. Y'all need to step up your fucking game there. That was the first team that actually felt like was actually somewhat reliable in God knows how long. Well, OBS knows, 3 hours. So, I don't know. That is potentially indicative of a problem. At least my sensibility says. Are we still not the fucking... Well, we haven't actually really done anything except play matches, but we really haven't fucking gotten to fucking EX5. Jesus fucking Christ. I mean, they are more expensive per level, but wow, fuck. Just go play rank for more reliable games. This will keep happening. Because everyone, and I mean everyone, plays like they're watching TV. Yeah, it seems like that. So you know what? Okay, we're gonna... Alright. We're gonna do it just once. And see how this goes. Because I'd like to not lose Platinum 4, but it's probably gonna happen. Real talk, Zaku 2 Melee deserve better in Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt. Not seeing the Zaku 2 Melee as literally Dozel Zabi's Zaku. Come on, step it up. That shit, I know it's from Thunderbolt, but no, fuck you. That's the Dozel Zabi special Zaku from the MSV books. That's the only way I look at that. That thing's piloted by a man with a massive Giga Chad jawline. Yes, you heard of the Red Comet and the Crimson Lightning? Well, how about the Crimson Chin? Epic reference. Yeah, epic. You see, I too had a childhood as well. I too watched Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon. Also, by the way, Cartoon Network is also dead. What a shame. I'm not really sad to see it go because everything on television and entertainment in general has degraded to absolute fucking misery and stupidity, so even the cartoons aren't fucking good anymore. So it might as well be dead rather than continue to suffer and get worse. So... Though, I find it kind of funny that Cartoon Network is no longer going to exist when I turn around and see Boomerang still existing too, which is literally just Hanna-Barbera fucking cartoons. That I'm not sure if anyone watches, but it's like the 5 a.m. episodes of MASH on Fox. They're just kind of eternal. I don't know why. Apparently they got more viewers than Cartoon Network though. I don't get it. Don't you shit talk Boomerang. You know I can. It's full of classics, yes, and this is where all of the shit came from. But holy it literally is the 5 a.m. The continuous 5 a.m. episodes of MASH on Fox. Of cartoons. But for some reason, Boomerang is continuing to exist and Cartoon Network's getting shut down first. I don't understand. Hanna-Barbera cartoons are eternal. Fucking Magilla Gorilla and Wally Gator outlive everything. They are literally the old ones of cartoons. Cause good cartoons? I mean, yes, but they're like the fucking eldritch gods of cartoons. Real talk. Of all the names to give Char 2 Electric Boogaloo from Gundam UC, they went with the one that did... They went with the one they did, and I am still confused as to why. CN has not made anything good in years. Unfortunately, objectively true. To clarify, the one in the English dub... Wait, hold on, Striker, what exactly are you talking... Which anime having Char 2 Electric Boogaloo? Because, you know, Char Aznable is now a recurring stereotype in literally almost every fucking Gundam. So there is always a Char of some description somewhere. Unicorn. Oh, full frontal nudity. I actually respect Full Frontal because they got a guy who sounds exactly like the voice actor in the original dub of 0079 Gundam. And that to me is Char. I can't watch the compilation movies because Steve Bloom is a great actor. He is not fucking Char. Fuck you. No. Bright's not British. Amuro doesn't smack talk. And that ain't fucking Char. So that's why I respect Full Frontal, because they got a guy who's fucking spot on with that voice. That's like, I respect this, even though I knew from the get-go Full Frontal wasn't Char. Just like Char and Char's counterattack also isn't Char. Because Char's not a fucking diplomat. What the fuck is this shit? The little clone of Char. Yes, and they got a voice actor that actually sounds like Char. Or at least how most people view Char, and not Steve Bloom attempting to just do a Steve Bloom. It doesn't work in my head. No. Again, I can't watch the English dub of the compilation movies, even though the compilation movies are very nice for what they are. I disagree with a lot of the ththings. I like the series. I like Gun Tank in Space and not having everything replaced by core boosters. G-parts. G-bull. I like all of that, even though it's kind of silly, and actually it does have some major issues with it. Major issues with the authenticity and legitimacy of it all, but Tomino's gone back on all that shit anyway, and they made it better anyway. But the dub cast for the compilation movies, I absolutely fucking despise. I can't sit and listen to it. It's horrifying. Sure has everything and everyone. No, he's not. He's a specific fucking voice. Specific fucking tone that is just... It's like fucking Bright Noah. You know Bright Noah's voice. If you've listened to the dub of, the English dub of the original Gundam anime, you know Bright Noah's voice. It's incredibly distinct. You know it's that man the moment you hear it. Bro, it's sarcasm. I agree with your point. I'm just hyperactive, me. But you know what I mean. It's just, it's right, man. It just feels right. And when it's not fucking right, you notice, and it's fucking grating. I enjoy all the fight scenes in Unicorn, but it still baffles me how the Neo Zeon lost to funny toothpaste lights. It's new type horse shit. That's what it is. Fucking my psycho frame is better than your psycho frame, and feelings and stuff. That's how it's always been, really, with everything. The happy, touchy-feely new type dimension, pastel universe nonsense has always been kind of weird. Like, they sound nearly identical, but the way... Their way of actually speaking is just ever so slightly different. Temporal new type bullshit. Yeah, temporal new type bullshit. The only time temporal new type bullshit isn't temporal new type bullshit is actually in the original series, where there isn't any of this weird fucking... Like, there's still new type nonsense, but it's kept to a fucking minimum, and really Amuro Ray is just super fucking good at shooting people in the face. That's really all it is. It's just, I am a new type. He's just really good at shooting people, and it's not really a discussion about, feelings and stuff and out-of-body experiences and Haman Karin in general. Even though, unfortunately, I can't talk shit about Haman Karin because I haven't finished watching Double Zeta, and I know a lot of people will die for that woman, and not just because a lot of them are Mashimar XPs. I've seen that much of Double Zeta. I understand Mashimar, who is a fucking idiot. And is by design, because Tamino needed to lighten this shit up. Well, felt that he needed to, because apparently he found antidepressants at about that time. But I will start another fucking Zeon War for Independence if I go after Hamankar. Where the new type nonsense is mostly having ridiculous reflexes and occasional flashes of danger sense. Yeah, where you're just where you just have telepathic radar warning. That's what being a new type was originally, and then it diverged into a whole bunch of other weird shit. I absolutely love Xiao's counterattack. One of my favorite anime films ever, alongside Macross, Do You Remember Love and Akira. Char's counterattack I don't like as much as I honestly think that I should, but it's mainly down to the fact that the schism in Universal Century's storyline. Char disappears at the end of Double Zeta, is not present in... Char disappears at the end of Zeta. He's actually a pretty well-rounded good guy. He seems to have acknowledged the fact that his rampant fucking quest for revenge through the war didn't really do him any good for, making him feel better, and is somewhat recovered, and is generally speaking a nice guy, or rather, a guy who seems to understand where his failings are, and is trying to help now, rather than killing people for his own entertainment and helping some deranged fucking psychopath like the Zabi family. Or anything like that. He recovered. He seemingly recovered in a sensible way that you would expect someone to do after a horrifying war, and also getting away with everything that he wanted because all the zombies are fucking dead. The problem is, yeah, he disappears at the end of Zeta, and then isn't present for Double Zeta, and apparently he was supposed to be. but he was written out of it because Bandai said, hey Tamino, you can have your movie now. And then all of a sudden he just swapped gears and started writing Char's Counterattack. The problem is, the character development that I feel like should have been in Double Zeta is never seen, and thus all of a sudden Char reappears and he's a villain now. What? It just never sat right to me, because I looked at... Like, it made more sense to me in the beginning because we didn't have Zeta and Double Zeta. Actually, we never got Double Zeta. You had to actually go basically rip that from somewhere in order to see it, because it was never dubbed. Or it was dubbed, but that was the goofy Saiban dub that is verboten now and is denied from history. You have to hunt really hard to find even scant traces of that fucking ridiculous dub. But that was never aired anywhere. And then Zeta was fully dubbed, but also never aired anywhere. So it actually made more sense when you didn't have Zeta, or, well, Double Zeta doesn't count, but when you didn't have Zeta's character development to see Char actually recovering. So when you went from the end of Mobile Suit Gundam to Char's Counterattack with nothing in between, even though that makes everything make even less fucking sense, it actually makes Char's character development that much more coherent, because since you don't see Zeta, you never see him change. So you could believe that the Char Aznable that we see in Abawaku blowing fucking Cassilia's head off with a fucking laser bazooka goes off into a corner for a couple of years and then returns as the Char Aznable that we know in Char's Counterattack. That makes some form of sense. But once you understand what the hell is going on in Zeta, you go, wait, what the fuck? What? Why the turnaround? That's the problem with me. We are missing a step there. Yeah, some people actually got into a Twitter argument with someone who said, no, it's perfect the way it is. You're just wanting to be spoon-fed or something like that. But we had 3 series to build this up, and it really feels like it's a really sudden gear change that kind of needed to be acknowledged as to why the fuck this happened. And funny enough, the Super Robot games do an interesting job at trying to patch this hole. Like, one of the better things is that, at whatchamacallit, Char was still within visual range, because he obviously survived the Grips conflict, like the final battle of the Grips conflict, and saw whatchamacallit, and saw Camille get basically turned into a vegetable, or felt it with his new type powers about the man being, the boy being turned into a vegetable, and this angered him on a level. He kind of spiraled into just a massive disgust of mankind, and this kind of then proceeded to bend its way into why he did counterattack. That's one of the more interesting, probably slightly better well done, explanations, because other people do feel this way, that there is a gap here that needed to be filled. And while Tamino really hasn't actually attempted to fill it, he seems to be intentionally fine with it being intentionally left blank. Other people do recognize that, yeah, there's a funny gap here that we kind of need to fix with something. But, I had character development, but then I got high on Prozac. That's the joke. You found antidepressants, and this is why we have Double Zeta, which is an incredibly fucking goofy experience. That, honestly, I feel like it was a bad time. It's always been a bad time for Double Zeta. I don't know what it is. Also, hey guys, where's that ranked? I'm sitting here talking about Gundam, meanwhile, no ranked match. I guess it's a sign. Fuck it. Alright, I keep my Platinum 4. Walk away. We've been in the queue for like, what, 10, 15 minutes? Fuck that. Fuck that shit. Alright, fine. I keep my Platinum 4. I'll come back another day. Fuck you. I didn't want to risk my battle. I didn't want to go gambling anyway. Fuck that. Fuck that shit. I didn't want to gamble with my self-esteem anyway. Good lord. I'm glad the casino won't let me in. I'm glad they're telling me my money's no good here. I need it for other things. Which is also why in a lot of those games, Camille, is how you recruit Char. Yeah, I haven't actually played a whole host, really, most of any of them, honestly. But there's just some problems out there. But like I said, it makes more sense if you just ignored Zeta, and honestly, all of us did in the first go-around. You had to go online and go find Zeta somewhere in the time where, Mobile Suit Gundam was in its heyday on Toonami and whereabouts. But then you also, you see, we never really got the full storyline, and I suppose the best thing that we got, well, actually, no, we didn't, we got 0083, but 0083 doesn't make any sense without Zeta.
All hands to battle stations. Hostiles incoming.
Now,
Because the whole point of 0083 is, so why did everything get worse? Annabelle Gatto is why everything got fucking worse. The issue was not in the writing, but they never allowed this screen time. Yeah, that's the issue with it all. It's just that it feels like there's something missing. But yeah, well, that shit's like what, fucking 40 goddamn years behind. That spilled milk is fucking old, dried the hell up. Barely, you can't even really tell it was there anymore. So, not really having, no sense sitting around arguing about it, but that's just how I feel about it.
This is the spot.
But as I try to find my way back to the actual conversation, yeah, new type bullshit is always freaky and stupid, and the new Unicorn is, I'm gonna be perfectly honest, I don't really like Unicorn. Like, I understand what it's doing about the whole freaky new type shit, but I don't really like it. I also didn't really like narrative. Like, I'm sorry, but Banagher Lynx isn't really that interesting of a character. And while it's fun to have aged up Puru Puru, it can't save the show. And then narrative is just, narrative's an edgy narrative's an edgy shonen anime in a situation where it really shouldn't be just that. And then on top of that, we have a Hathaway's Flash, which is still yet to continue. But Hathaway's Flash, I dislike on just on principle of, did we really need this? And not because, wow, this is such a pointless story. It's like a, we know how this ends, and it's not fucking good. It's like, it feels like the most worthless story to be telling, purely because, what value is this going to be at the end? Because, spoiler alert, we're still waiting on the next OVAs of Hathaway's Flash, but the whole point of Hathaway's Flash is Hathaway Noah has a, goes on a fucking jihad, loses, and then is shot. He really accomplishes absolutely nothing. And it's just really depressing. It's really to the point where even Quest is like, what the fuck? Quest's new type ghost, who didn't really give two flying fucks about him to begin with, stares him as he dies in the end, going, what the fuck? Why did you do any of that? The end. Directed by David Lynch. Oh no! Oh, I never really realized there was a hole over there. Though I will hand the Hathaway's Flash anime one thing. Seeing the entire GDP of Japan, be burned out as fireworks in most of those action sequences is quite nice. Well done. It's a lot of yen burning on screen. A lot of yen burning on screen.
That mega charge is going to blow. Disarm it. An ally is defusing the mega charge.
Anyone comes up here to fuck with us, I'm gonna get him. I got him.
It's been disarmed.
All right, good.
The enemy has placed a mega charge. They armed the mega charge. The enemy has set a mega charge on objective A.
Yes, random female voice actor, they are. We were just told over the loudspeaker. Me shooting at nothing. I'm chasing a fucking icon around the screen, even though the guy is behind like 4 walls at this point. And yeah, Striker, White Base does really look like that super robot transforming nonsense ship.
I'll help you up. Okay.
Thankfully, that design has evolved to something not really goofy looking, but still finds its way to be really distinct and still goofy looking. I'm partial to the Albion. I think that's probably the best White Base looking permutation we ever got.
Almost completed the mission.
Well, I killed a Mephis. Go me. And the Mephis is back up, and then I get hit by a Zaku ult.
An ally's mobile suit has been destroyed. 10 seconds remaining.
When's battle construction vehicles too? What?
4,
Huh?
3, 2, 1. Now entering overtime.
Dig deep. We gotta smash these idiots.
You were blapped.
I'll help you up.
An ally
Arise.
Good to go?
It's like fucking the gun tank's just sitting there struggling to keep the bolt cutters in its hand.
Select the suit you wish to pilot.
Someone on a Gundam Reddit kid bashed a few kits to finally give White Base a robot for him. Oh boy, White Base, but it's SDF-1. Neato. That would be really fucking goofy looking, but I could see that combination working because... Well, this whole shit's crimped off of Space Battleship Yamato. The whole fucking super fucking mothership thing is just...
Heading out.
It's always been there.
Are you ready? We're dropping you back in now.
Got it.
We're ready here too.
Also, battle construction vehicle... I think I've actually heard of this once before. Is this that fucking game where... Whatchamacallit, what was it? After the last war on Earth, war happens again, and they resurrect the brain of a soldier who died in the last war on Earth to be the commander of this fucking goofy-looking SDF-1 thing and lead a bunch of other AI soldiers on a mission to stop some terrorist or something, right?
Preparations complete.
I remember something about this.
Let's do this. Executing.
It probably isn't it, but it's probably a completely different fucking game. But that's what it makes me think. I know that is a game, though. I'm not mixing that shit up. I just don't remember the name of that fucking game. Thank you, Gundam, for doing your job. However, that was a little late. The Gundam's job is to see Sazabi and press F.
Successfully captured the waypoint. Select the
BCV is about fighting construction vehicles. Okay, never mind then. I'm misremembering something else. It sounded familiar, though. I couldn't remember what it was. So what I'm hearing is some really weird fucking take on Twisted Metal.
Megatron countdown has begun.
Is it from that era of vehicular combat games?
Scratch one thing. I'll help you up.
It always, it always kind of puts a really dumb smile on my face to remember that Twisted Metal had its own sort of, like, we run the entire video game industry sort of fad. Like, that was like the Battle Royale and fucking, like, extraction or team shooter fucking phase. Before any of that shit, it was just Twisted Metal clones. I think King of Fighters, but Twisted Metal. Oh my fucking god. Okay, so like Gundam Battle Assault, right? Like where it's a fighting game, but it's robots, right? Which is another really goofy fucking game that I sadly didn't get to play enough of. I had it, but I also didn't really get enough time to play with it. Oh no. And they're just kind of sitting back in their spawn, and they're just gonna let it happen. All right. Transform! Like, that's where the gun tank enters, like, an incredibly, like, old school transformation animation, like we're fucking Centurions or something. All right. At least he's not using the non-standard fucking Pale Rider win animation. 6 revives. I fucking helped you. Will I be rewarded for that? No, not really, but there's the credibility for it. There's the mark of distinction that no one will ever remember. Yes. Alright, folks. Well, it may seem kind of early to cut the stream off. I'm gonna be entirely honest. I'm getting bored. I should have been playing more ranked today, but I guess I'm just not up to it. And, well, this is just kind of going ho diddly dumb, really. We're not really doing anything here. It's nice to sit here and run my mouth, but I think I'm basically done for the day. I guess tomorrow we'll be playing Signalis, so that'll be something to sit in for if you actually want to see a very, very good indie horror game. Honestly, I'd recommend it already. Just as a spoiler, it's a good $20 game. Consider it if you want a horror game adventure. Bonus points of it, has robot tomboys with bob cuts and PS1 graphics. It's very nice, and also very, 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 very thought-provoking in a way of, just kind of staring at fucking shapes, shifting on a fucking wall and going, what's going on here, sort of thing. Just trying to make sense of madness and going down ever-expanding rabbit holes of subjects that you may not even ever actually, see the end of. I cannot tell if you got my last message or not. Sure. Yeah. You didn't, or I didn't. So, oh well. But anyway, so, well, I guess I'll be on tomorrow, folks, and, well, we'll have an adventure there. I mean, well, there are still some things left to do, even though I played the shit out of the game already, but it's a nice game, and, well, it'll be something for everyone else to watch without actually having to spend money, I guess. Alright. That's it for me. Sorry I didn't really have anything impactful today, but I suppose I just wanted to get back into the groove of doing things, rather than throw myself directly into something that was going to be difficult and trying. I don't know. This is my job, and I just, well, it's always here, as it's been, as it's proven. But I'll see you all tomorrow, and, well, we'll have some fun, going down Spook Central. Even though, Phonto, it's November 3rd. What the fuck are you doing scary games now? Shouldn't have you been doing that for Halloween? Yes, I should have been doing that for Halloween, but, as I said on Twitter, like the dead, I was out for a bit. We'll do something about getting to new type at some point, but it doesn't seem like the rank matchmaker wants to cooperate with us, and I'm not in the mood, unfortunately, as it seems. But, oh well. We'll be playing more Gundam Evolution at some point, but we got a lot of things to do, so that's the show for today, ladies and gentlemen. I have been your host, Phontomen. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the show. What there was. I mean, I tried to, make things interesting just by conversation, but, yeah, we didn't really knock anything out of the park today, did we? Oh well. one thing that I've seen out of all of my work is that, yeah, it's not just one game that gets you thrown up to the top, it's fucking hundreds. And I'm not even at the top yet. Oh well. But see you all tomorrow, folks. I've been your words. I have been your host, Phontomen, and that is the show. Good night. Maybe less coffee. Maybe.